what kind of wife do you want? And as I look over, and then he's like, whatever you're gonna be when you grow up. I was like, you're stupid. Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Alexisjayda and welcome. Today's notification shout out goes to Veronica. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Te quiero mucho. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys want to be part of the notification squad, all you have to do is just like the video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you guys are notified when I do go live. A few of you guys have been leaving me messages asking how come you guys are not being notified. So sometimes, I don't know why, YouTube wants to just be like, nope, you're not gonna be notified. Nope, you're not gonna be notified here. But engagement helps a lot. So even if you leave a comment saying hi or whatever you want down below, it helps and it lets YouTube know like, hey, they're interested in this type of content. Like the video, okay, they like this type of content, you know? So I know a few of you guys watch me on your big screen TV. If you could just grab your phone, like the video, leave a hi, whatever you guys would like to leave, it really helps and keeps YouTube like, oh, okay, this is what they like. You know what I mean? All right, so I sound raspy as fuck, but look, I like how I sound like this. I don't know why. I like a raspy voice. I'm in the RV right now because everyone is still sleeping. I got up early and I was like, I'm going to record. I need to escape because it's so hard trying to film and, you know, mom, grandma, my babies. Someone just walked by the RV. My mom knows I'm out here, so she better come and check up on me. I have to have a fan on me. I was gonna have the AC, but it's loud. It's really loud. My brother's coming into town, so I think I'll have a little bit more time because you know how moms are with their sons. She's gonna throw me to the side. Just kidding. So let me know what you guys are doing. If you guys are driving anywhere, if you guys are going anywhere, if you guys are cleaning, what items are you guys cleaning? Let me know what you guys are doing while you guys are watching the story time. Let's begin. So the next day, I wake up and I have a couple messages, and it's from the Peaches telling me, what did you say? What happened? What did you do last night? And I'm really confused. I was really like, what the fuck? Like, what you talking about? Like, you know how you ever wake up and you just get hit with a bunch of questions and you're just being accused, like just, I see, and like you haven't even got the eye boogies at your face. You haven't brushed your teeth yet. Like, what? What's going on? I was really confused. What did you say? What happened last night? What did you do? All from Mrs. Peach. I was like, what? And I had another number asking me what happened. Call Mrs. Peach. And I'm like, what the? Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, what? Like that, you know, trying to look all cute. What? You know, all confused. And I had a message from JoJo saying, call me as soon as you get up. Big letters. As soon as you get up. Boom, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, he told them what I was saying. Oh my god, I already knew. I hated that feeling of everyone could choose me out and say your business or talk about them, that, they, all of that, but as soon as you would like cheese me out, oh, we thought better of you, or oh this, or like how could you, and then you become like this villain and you're like, what the, so y'all could do all this. It always felt like that, like everyone could do whatever, and as soon as I did something I see like the same, it was like, how could you, like, bitch, what the f, like, put me as the same, like I'm matching your energy. What the hell? Like, how does that make sense? And it pisses me off, and I would really hate when I would do something back. How could you? Bitch, what do you mean? You could, why can't I? Like, I hate when people would put different standards, had different standards for me than they did themselves. Like, I didn't like that. So I'm pissed because I told JoJo this because I thought he and I were having a moment. I thought I could tell him. I didn't think I was gonna go run and tell and be like, you know, this, that. Even if it was a place out of love, it was just, they're not gonna see it, you know, Mrs. Peach, like, oh, out of love. And that was a form of income. Was it a lot? No, but it helped me get what I needed, like my necessities and stuff. So I just started getting pissed because I knew he had said something. I'm like, so I write JoJo back, I'm not calling you, what did you do? Replies with the quickness, and says, you need to call me. And I said, why? I really don't like that. Like, why can't you text me what you need to say? I know you guys are probably like, oh, why are you going hard on JoJo? Because I was pissed. Like, I was really pissed because I always felt and this is something the ex would do too, where like I would confide in him on something, and then like some bitch knew about what was going on at home, or like bitches be fighting with me and want to throw something that I told him, and I'm like, you know, so I felt like I wanted someone who I could fully trust. I could be like, hey, this is what I did, and be like, you know, oh, okay, you know, even if I was like, oh, I buried a body, whatever, but okay, oh, you know, this and that, and I ate ass, okay, and it just be me and you, and that's it, and it don't go anywhere else. But no, I felt like no one could keep secrets. And recently one of you guys left me a comment saying, my friend told me, how could I keep your, how do you expect me to keep your secret if you can't keep it from yourself? I was like, that's so true. That is so true. But now I just be keeping my secrets to myself. I don't be telling nobody. I don't be telling damn soul. Yeah. It really pissed me off. Like, it really made me mad, because I was just like, even if he did it from a good place, I was really irritated because I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to vent. I didn't want to sit here and have to watch what I say and not be scared of you going and telling your mother or something, you know? That's why I was upset, because it was a frustrating situation. I felt like I had nobody to confide in, and anybody that I did, you know, teenager, adult, I hope y'all know what I'm saying. And I feel like I have to defend JoJo, because a lot of you guys are Team JoJo. But I was pissed at JoJo, okay? I was pissed off. So he said, no, call me. Like, no, call me. And so I don't call him. I get ready. So me and my mom, we go out for breakfast, and she's just asking me like, what's going on and why is my face like that? Because I'm not always good at hiding my bitch face. Like, I'm not. It sucks. Or even if I'm like not in a good mood and I really try and fake it, I cannot hide the bitch face. What the damn? I can't. I don't know why. It sucks. So she's like trying to ask me like what's going on, and she's having her moment of wanting to be close. Side note, you guys, holy sh*, me and my mom, was the first time I seen her in 2 years. Last year, right? So we were still kind of fresh of seeing each other and bonding, and even though we talk, it's different. So this year visiting, it's just been a little different, and we've been like kind of triggering each other, and we need our own damn show, man, because it's been hard and super hard. And when I do the story times, I am like, okay, like, you right here, mom. Like, it makes me so mad. And she just like, let's talk about it. My mom's huge on, she's huge on let's talk about it now, but I'm just like, it's hard, because it's just hard. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, so my mom was going through a moment and was feeling some way of, we're not close, I feel like you hate me. My mom's really, that's her favorite word, you hate me. You hate me. I hate that she says that. I was upset. And I just remember us eating at IHOP, and she's like telling me like, you hate me, you hate me. I know you hate me, and I'm trying to, you know, make things better. And I'm like, how are you trying to make things better? Like, you're over here doing this and that. And then she would get upset because I'm the child, she's the adult, and she didn't like how I was talking to her. And we had her friend, and she'd be like, you know, Terry, just like hear her out, and Alexis, don't touch your mom like that. So she was trying to be like the mediator, therapist, and I'm pissed because I'm like, who the f are you? Why the f are you saying anything? You're just you're enabling her bad behavior. And so they would get upset, and then they kind of laugh at some points, like, oh my god, like, haha, she's so smart. Like, irk my nerve, because I thought we were trying to have a genuine conversation. I want to sit here and be like, and try to give me like, oh, like, good job, like, you sound so smart, blah 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 blah, and I'm like really mad. And so she was just telling me that she wants to work on our relationship, and that she's gonna get a house, and once she gets her house, I'm gonna move back with her, and she don't want to hear it. And so it starts turning into a conversation of her being upset and pissed off because I've had all this freedom, and that I've been doing way too much. And I'm like, I have this freedom because you want to be with the piece of shit. Well, I'm not with him no more, and things are gonna change because now I can see. And she was saying that she couldn't get out of her depressed state, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. You can't get out of your depressed state, but then as soon as you got out of your depressed state, you want to jump into, you don't want to jump into being a mother and being there. You want to go and do it. So we were fighting and saying really disgusting things. So I was saying really disgusting things to her and being upset and just being like, you do 1 and then jump to 10. You can't be like in the middle. And so we're fighting. A mutual friend is like, oh my god, you guys, stop. And we're just, you know, being really upset. My mom threatens to lock me up and put me in kind of like this like timeout place. And my mom had did that a few times because I would get out of control. And sometimes it was valid. You know, me being an adult, even as a child, I was like, okay, you know, I was acting huffy and puffy. I get it. Time out. But there was a few, like 2 times where I'm like, nah, this ain't right. Like, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life, and I'm never gonna forgive you. And I still have not forgiven her for those 2 incidents. And when we talk about it, like, oh my god, Jade, like when you have your kids, like you make mistakes, da 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 da. But I'm like, nah, those are 2 that I cannot forgive because I didn't like the reason. She had just got out of jail. It wasn't a valid reason for me. I don't care. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but you guys are right in front of me. We're having time. We're FaceTiming. Damn it. We're arguing. She threatens to lock me up. She knows that I have been telling a little bit about like, I want to go to this wedding. My mom was really good at using things against me. And it could be me just being a kid and being like, oh my god, I should have never told you. But I feel like my mom would do shit like that because she knew that like it would affect me, you know, or I would like act right or whatever. But I feel like at the same time, my mom didn't grow up with a mother who liked talking about feelings. So I would kind of understand and be like, okay, well, you know, my mom didn't have the best parenting and blah, blah, blah. Always in my head. And as a child, I shouldn't have been thinking about that. I shouldn't have been trying to compromise and okay, and understand and this and that. But me and my mom always talked to me like I was a grown-up. So I wouldn't think like a child, you know? So anyway, she threatens me and tells me if I don't shut the F up, because I was getting kind of loud and rowdy because I was upset. And I was mainly upset because her friend was there trying to calm the situation and be like, you guys, and I was just like, shut the F up. Have you ever had a tia or your mom's best friend trying to get into the conversation? It's annoying. It's way annoying. Even if they're on your side, it's annoying because now it's like, now you're disrespecting my ma. No, don't be on my side and don't be on her side. Like, just shut up. Like, it's so hard and it's emotionally draining. Anyways, mom decides to tell me that if I don't act right, then I'm not gonna go to that, you know, party, which is a wedding. And I just shut down because I'm pissed because I'm like, why do you always do this? I shut down and I just pushed my foot forward. I don't want to talk no more. My mom and her friend, they decided to go out for a smoke break, and my mom's like, give me your phone. You're not gonna be on your phone while I'm out there. And so I give my mom my phone, don't even fight with her about it, and I'm just pissed because I'm like, what the heck, like, why are you like, I know she would try and parent, but it's just like, it's like not the time, the way you're doing, okay, whatever. So I was just pissed, sitting there eating my freaking bacon. Now I pull it closer and I start munching on my bacon. It's a little crispy. I really like that bacon. Anyways, so I'm pissed, just thinking like, oh my god, I don't even want to go to the party. Like, I can't believe JoJo did that. I'm really mad. I'm really mad because I feel like it's gonna cause drama. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be so much drama. I hate it. Like, I just constantly felt like, why? Like, why did you say anything? Why did you say anything? I felt in a way like I was gonna get my ass beat by the Peaches. I don't know why. I felt like I was gonna be in trouble. Like, I felt so weird. I don't know how to explain it to you. And I didn't like the feeling. Like, I'm over here fighting with my mom and I have this weird feeling with her, but not like, oh my god, I'm gonna get my ass beat. But with the Peaches, I just felt like, they are going to just cut me off. Like, another person just to like cut me off. Sounds weird, I know, because they were people, but it's so weird because you feel like you don't belong anywhere, and then even in a space, even though it's toxic, you somewhat belong. My mom comes back in, she smells like cigarette. I freaking hate the smell of cigarette. Those kind, because there was a time where like I could just light a cigarette and just smell it. Weird, I know. Super bad, I know. Second hand smoking, I know. But it was just like this I don't know if it was because it was just like, I don't know. I didn't like that smell, and so I was just like, and she walked in, she said, why you make that face for? And I was like, because I don't like how it smells. Oh, but you smoke cigarettes too. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't like your kind. So boom, we started another fight. I'm like, god damn. So I'm like, listen, shut up. So my mom gives me the phone kind of rudely. My mom is very mean, and when she's trying to make a point, she can come up very, very mean, and you can just instantly hurt your feelings. Like, just slap me instead. I'd rather just have you slap me than you freaking make me feel like that, ma. So anyway, she just kind of just like lightly chucks it towards my way. I'm pissed, and I grab it and I tell her I gotta go to work and I need to go babysit, you know. I'm like, I gotta go babysit. She says, okay, well, when we finish up, we'll go drop you off. I'm like, okay, because I'm just mad. I don't want to talk to her anymore. I'm just mad. I start reading the messages, and Mrs. Peach says, don't come in today. So I'm just sitting there, I'm in my own feelings, I'm pissed off. JoJo still messaged me like boom, 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 call me please, 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 call me. And I'm like, what did he do? What did he do? Like, what did he do? I go to the restroom real quick and I call Joe and I'm like, hey, what's up? What did you do? I'm with my mom right now, I don't really got time to be on the phone. What did you do? And before he could even say anything, I'm like, the peaches already are messaging me saying I can't go in. And what did I say? Oh, yo, relax. I was just talking to my mom and I had told her how they were acting and my mom just called them and it's just a whole thing. Like, where are you? We can go pick you up and we could talk about it. And I was like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I'm mad. Like, I talked to you and I told you. I didn't say go tell them anything. I know, but me and my mom were really close. So she was asking me. She could hear some of the convo we were having. I was like, you a lie. So he tells me like, can I go pick you up? Please, can I go pick you up? And I'm like, no. I get mad at Joe because I'm like, no, like, why'd you do that? I know you guys are probably thinking, you treat the ex better. You guys, I don't know how to explain it, okay? I was pissed. I'm telling you, I just didn't want to get into one relationship and then into another where it's just like drama. Why did you do that? I felt betrayed, okay? I feel like I'm always trying to over-explain myself too, but I felt betrayed. I felt like, damn it. Damn it. So I go back out and I try and fake a smile. And my mom's like, what? I'm like, nothing. Are we still dropping you off? I'm like, yes. And I was like, can you drop me off at another place? That's where she's at. Which was a lie. I wanted her to drop me off at JoJo's because I wanted to say the peaches were there, you know, that kind of thing. My mom's like, okay, but I want to go in and meet them. My mom would always try and do stuff like that when she was always trying to catch me. Sometimes I could call her bluff and sometimes I couldn't. I never knew. When my mom was manic, I never knew what sort of person I was gonna get, what type of personality, because she was just so... I couldn't read her sometimes. Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. My brother, Manuel, could read her like a book, the freaking Aries, but I couldn't. Sometimes I just couldn't because at times I felt like my mom hated me. Like, I really did, and I felt like she just hated me and she just wanted to, like, you know, mess with me. So I just tell her, I'm like, okay. Like, it was like, I was trying to make it seem like, okay, no big deal, I don't care, you know, whatever, you know. And she's like, okay, sit down. And I'm like, okay. So I sit down and I just wait until they finish. They're talking about some stuff. They're like laughing, having a good time. And I'm just sitting there like, what's life, right? Joe starts texting me. He's like, please, can I pick you up? Can we talk about it? It's so complicated. I don't know how to explain it. And I just tell him like, I'll go to you. And he's like, okay, even better. I'm like, okay, I'll be there shortly. I'll let you know when I'm close. He says, okay. So after my mom's done, her and I are kind of talking. I don't know what broke the ice, but we start kind of like hemming and hawing and kind of laughing with each other. But I'm still upset because I was like, you're rude. You're very rude. So my mom and her friend, we get in the car. My mom's asking me like, what's wrong? Why are you acting like that? Trying to kind of like taunt me, and I'm like, I'm not acting like anything. She's like, you better treat your attitude. I'm not gonna drop you off. I'm like, I'm not doing anything, ma. Like, you, I don't know how you expect me to be like after we just got done fighting and you're being rude and you're gonna threaten me. So we start talking and kind of like arguing with that, you know. And we go good and we kept fighting. We kept good and we were laughing in between, and it is toxic as hell. We get to the spot and my mom's like, dang, this looks really nice. And I was like, I know, hecka fancy. And so my mom pretends that she's going to get out and I'm just waiting on her. I'm like, and she's like, just kidding. And it gives me a look of like, you know. And so I'm like, okay. My mom tells me to change your attitude, Jade. I'm like, Mom, I don't know how you expect me just to like change it just like that. And she's like, you're gonna go into work like that and they're gonna know you have an attitude. And I'm like, okay. And so she tells me that she's still gonna be with her friend. Text me when you're done so I can come pick you up. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, love you. I'm like, She's like, Alexa said I love you. And I'm like, I love you too, Mom. And so she takes off. And before I could even get to the door, I'm so glad my mom took off because Joe comes out and he is just looking kind of like stressed. And he goes like that with his hair, like looking back like that. What all happened? So he doesn't even take me inside. He kind of just like me to the back, and I'm like, you know, I look at him like, what are we doing? And he's like, let me talk to you first before you go talk to my mom so that you're not upset with my mom. And I was like, upset with your mom? And he's like, yes. So he takes me to the back. Me and him were talking. So you know how you were telling me how the peaches were? And I was like, you mean the stuff that I told you and I didn't ask you to say anything? And he's like, yeah, about that. And so I'm like, yeah, like what about it? So my mom kind of overheard her saying some things, not all, and she was just asking me like, what happened? And he's like, I told her, please don't say anything. And she said said she wouldn't. She said, of course I won't. Gave him the whole like, no, I won't. But then I guess she heard how like everything was, and she just was like, no, like this isn't right. I have to say something. I'm sorry, Joe, like you could be upset with me, but I have to say something, you know? He's trying to explain to me that he didn't mean to, and that he was just really sorry, and it's not right. And I'm like, okay, I know it's not right, I get that, but that's how I make my money, and it's just so much drama with that family. They're gonna take this really personal, because I'm thinking of like the whole Mr. Peaches, Baltimore, all of it. It's a whole shebang. Like it is not like, oh, you know, it's a whole thing. Like I feel like I know secrets. Like you part of, like it's like, you know, like the mafia type thing. Like, you know, you don't get out. I see, like it's like a big thing, and I'm like, oh my, like my stomach was turning, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh. He just keeps apologizing, and he's like, yeah, so my mom called them, they got into it pretty ugly, and Mrs. Peach felt like she was being accused, pretty much like child abuse. They were just arguing, and he's like, let talk to my mom, she can better explain. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to your mom, Joe. Like I feel so weird, I feel so embarrassed. I don't want to feel like I'm a burden on your mom, and like they are, I don't know, maybe might lose a friendship or something. Like I feel so weird. I know that his heart was right, but it felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm just this girl, and that is like years worth of friendship, and I hate feeling like the problem to a situation, you know what I mean? I felt horrible. I don't like feeling like that. So he tells me to please hear his mom out. She's sorry if she caused any drama, because I guess Mrs. Peach was saying she was gonna call me, fire me, and it was a whole drama. And so he's like, did she fire you? I'm like, no, she just said don't come in today. Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, yeah, I know. After hearing this, I'm pretty sure I'm fired. I don't know why, it low-key kind of hurt. Like, okay, I'm possibly going to be fired because of what's going on. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, so what, you could find something better. I couldn't work at that time because I wasn't of age to be working, you know? So babysitting is the only thing that I could do. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, how? Just like mad. I'm not gonna see those babies no more. You get a bond with the babies. So as we're talking, I'm getting a message, and it's Peach, and she's asking me that if I'm free, that she needs to talk to me, and this is something serious. I'm like, bubble guts in my panza like crazy. I am scared. I don't know why. Like if I could get in trouble or something. I felt scared. Like what is going to happen? Oh my goodness. I don't know why I was so scared. Looking back, I wish I would have just been like, and what? Like, you're lucky I didn't tell him this and that. You're lucky I didn't tell him about this situation. You're lucky I didn't. Like, I felt so freaking scared. So she's texting me, telling me that she needs to talk to me, and the tone in the message is a little bit different. I know some people are like, you can't tell a tone. Yeah, you could tell a tone. I feel like you could tell a tone. Someone being hella dry with you, someone wants to be writing an explanation, or they want to be using the exclamation or the ... bull. You can tell. I could tell the tone. And it sucks because I had a friend where her tone, it sucked. She was like the only one that I was like, okay, maybe not her. She would be so, or maybe I just didn't see it. She'd be so dry over message, like super dry, one word responses, you know. I'd be like, oh my god, how you doing? Good. And then I'd link up with her, oh my god, like she was just good vibes, and just, so I'm just like, maybe she just don't know how to text, because I be wanting to fight her sometimes how she be messaging me, but maybe that's just how she talks, maybe that's just how she texts. Anyways, the text was different. I could feel like, okay, something's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be a different type of, it's just different. I felt it in my butthole. All of it, it felt different. I can unquench. Then I get a message from the ex, and he messages, can you talk? Now Jojo was really close where he could see who was messaging me, and he goes, you guys are talking again? Like really upset with me. And I'm like, no, like he just messaged me, like look. So I start showing him my phone. He sees like where he had just wrote, and he's like, oh okay. I got kind of mad because I'm like, what the nerve of like you to get upset. Like we're I know we shared a kiss, but I didn't want to go into one relationship, you guys, into another one where I felt like I had to be like, here's my phone, look. You know, I was tired. I was so tired. I feel like I was fighting all the time. I was so exhausted. I know some of you are gonna be like, Alexis, it's not that deep. It was that deep. I still feel tired. I still feel like I'm still trying to catch up to sleep. I still feel like my body is still constantly tensed. I feel like I'm not there yet of like the so all the way. So I showed him, reassured him, like, no, we and him weren't talking. He goes, oh, okay, like, calm. And I'm like mad because I'm like really? So me and him are talking a little bit. Bubbles comes out and she's like, Alexis, can I talk to you? And a really nice tone. I don't know why. It just kind of just like called me. I'm like, yeah. I go and I talk to her and she kind of just explains to me how her and Mrs. Peach, they went out and they were doing some shopping, and some of the other girls as well. So these people are fancy, okay? They have nannies who are older than me and they have babysitters and all that. So I guess they were talking about their babysitters and they were kind of complaining and saying like, you know, how they can improve and this and that. So Jojo and Mrs. Bubbles already had this convo. I guess he was telling her like, you know, I feel bad for Alexis. She reminds me a lot of my Tia, which is Mrs. Bubbles' sister. Mrs. Bubbles' sister kind of went through the same struggles with the demons like my mom. So I think that's why Bubbles had like a soft spot for me, is because of the situation, you know? So he was confiding in his mama about what I had told him and just kind of just telling her like what was going on and giving her the chisme pretty much. That morning she left, she went out with Mrs. Peach, their friends, and they were just kind of talking and conversing about their nannies and their babysitters and just kind of just like complaining. I guess I was brought up in the topic and about how she didn't tell me everything. I think because she was trying to spare my feelings, but just I was brought up and it wasn't really nice. I was brought up in a way where they felt pity on me and that I lack confidence and that you can tell that I have been through a lot, and pretty much just giving the whole like wah 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 story about me and acting like, oh yeah, poor Alexis, and you know, yeah, she has like no confidence, and you know, está little fijita, and like, you know, being mean. And I guess Bubbles was like, no está fea, like she's not ugly. And they were like, you know, and she was like telling me, and she was like, maybe I shouldn't even be telling you all this because, you know, you're a child, but I want you to know so that nothing is mixed up, or they say more or they say less of what happened and what I said. And so she was just, you know, because she was like, they dirty, so I don't know what was going to be said. And so she was just talking to me about it, and it hurt. As she was talking to me, tears were running down my face, and she continued to talk, which I appreciated because I don't like sometimes, like, there's a time and there's a place to like when someone's crying and then you can hug them, you know. But I feel like she would have hugged me, she would have stopped telling me everything. So I was just, you know, I appreciated that she continued to go, and they were just pretty much saying, because Baltimore was there, because I guess she was a dingleberry, so you know, she stringed along, and they were just pretty much saying like, you know, poor Alexis, and like, you know, she doesn't have her mom, and that I'm always like out in the streets and stuff, and sometimes they see me walking, me and that mochila, that's probably all that I have, me in the backpack, and just being freaking nasty. So as I'm listening, I'm just like, they saw me walking and like they didn't even bother to be like, do you want to ride? Like, that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, bitch, I could have used a ride. Then she said she chimed in and she was like, why are you guys like that? Like, how come you're not nicer then? How come you don't help her? Like, I've known her for this period of time and she just seems very helpful. Like, she's a doll. That I don't really seem like a bother, and she would love to help me. That, oh my god, that how could she be like that? And then they have Sam that she doesn't understand, and she's like, oh, well, yes, I was like, how, you know, gente así, like, you know, girls like that, like how they're gonna end up and stuff, like they're gonna be just like their mother. And she's like, well, how was your mother? And so I guess it starts getting to a heated argument. She's saying, well, I heard that, you know, you did this to Alexis, and I heard that you're very like this. And she was telling Baltimore was like, what? And I guess like she didn't deny. I guess Baltimore did not deny like the shitty person she was. I guess Mrs. Peach was like, what? Not me. Like looking around at her friends like, what? No. And so she was like telling Mrs. Peach was telling Bubbles like, she just probably wants to work for you. That's why she's trying to get, you know, you to feel bad for her. And Bubbles is like, Alexis hasn't asked me for anything. Like, I've just been seeing, and how about the wedding? She's like, well, she's just trying to get, you know, weasel her way in. She's the one who asked you if she could be in the wedding. She's like, no, I asked her. So they're like going back and forth, drinking the little mimosas, talking about me. That's why my ears were probably ringing like a mother. And so just talking about it, and she said that it got, you know, kind of like heated, and I guess even Joe got brought up in the situation, and that like, oh, be careful because she's probably gonna try and get pregnant, and you know, that's how she's gonna get into like, you know, like get the money, blah 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 blah. Like, Alexis doesn't even really have an interest in him. It's Joe who has an interest, and he's like, well, yeah, of course, girls like that are fast, and just talking so nasty about me. And I guess Mrs. Bubbles was like taking up for me, and she's like, you don't even know her, like, why are you like this? Oh, it's because of your sister. And so I guess they try to make her feel bad because of her sister, and she's like, how nasty, like how nasty that, you know, how they are, and that hopefully that when the kids get bigger, Nadian is like how they are and stuff. And she just like was like, you know, felt dumb. I guess one of the friends were like, guys, come on, let's change the subject. Let's just come on, you guys, let's not fight about this. And I guess was just trying to like change the topic, which, how embarrassing to be the topic, right? I guess before the topic gets changed, Mrs. Peach tells her, well, I bet you if you stop spending money on her, she stopped coming around. And I guess Bubbles is like, I'm the one who wants her around. I'm the one who is making the effort. Alexis doesn't bug me. Alexis doesn't call me. She was telling her that, you know, pretty much that she's insecure, that she feels intimidated by me, and that instead of guiding me, that she is intimidated by me. And I guess Baltimore just sat back and was just quiet. And I was just quiet as I was just listening. In my head, I was like, what? You really think she intimidated by me? What the heck? Because I'm a kid. Like, how are you gonna be intimidated by a child? So I guess they were just arguing, and some of the friends were like, yeah, I could see her trying to weasel her way in, and you know, yeah, girls like that, blah blah blah. And I guess Bubbles was like, no, like, what are you guys talking about? Like, she is a child. Like, she is a child. And defending me. And I guess some of the girls were like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, yeah. And some were just like quiet. Like, they didn't know what to say. They're just quiet. And so Bubbles was just telling me like, so that's what happened, and I'm sorry if it's going to cause any problems, and I'm sorry if you're going to lose your job, but I don't even think you should be working there, Alexis. Like, the way that they spoke of you was not nice. People shouldn't speak of you like that. And she was just being so sweet. I just told her thank you. And she asked me like, why? Like, why, you know, why are they like that? Did I ever do anything? She's like, I'm not saying that you did. Did you ever do anything? And I just told her, I just know too much. And she's like, that instead of people treating others better because they know the secrets, they get nasty, you know? And I've never understood that. Even when I watch freaking villain movies, and I'm like, why are they like that? Like, they treat the ones that are freaking literally helping them. I'm literally helping you guys with your children, wiping butt, taking them baths. Why wouldn't you guys be nicer? Because like, what if I was a psycho and I wanted to take it out on the children? Like, I don't understand it, like, at all. I don't. She was just telling me that, yeah, like, she understood that and stuff, just that she's sorry, that she's really sorry, and she knows that she shouldn't have said anything because it could affect my job. And she told me that they don't need a babysitter, but if I ever wanted to help out around the house, that she could help me, pay me, or she could just like, you know, if you ever need money, like, just tell me. She still wants me at the wedding, that she's so sorry, again, if it's going to cause any drama, that she shouldn't have said anything, but she couldn't. That if it was a different topic, then she wouldn't have said anything. But just how they were just sitting there and saying what they were saying, that she just couldn't stay quiet. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I understand. And then she asked me how they reached out. I'm like, she told me not to come in today, and she was like, maybe that's a good thing that you don't go in today because it would have been an argument. And again, I don't think you should work there at all, Alexis. And I'm like, yes, I know. But it's just, and I'm like explaining to her like the kids, and just not ever feeling like I belong. And I'm like, I'm not telling you this because I want you to pity me. And she's like, no, I know, I understand. I'm like, I'm just like, I don't have a family. Like, I don't have my mom really. I don't have a dad. And the stepdad that I do have, he's a piece of shit. And I'm like, you know, just telling her, and I'm like, I don't mean to like put this all on you, but I feel so alone. Like, I just want to belong. Like, anyway, I'm scared, like, what if I'm losing this family? And I don't want to lose, like, I know, like, all families are messed up and toxic. And she's like telling me like, yeah, I know, like, understanding. And she's like, it's messed up, but like, I totally get it. And she's just apologizing, and I'm like, yeah, like, and then the kids, like, I don't know why I get so close to like kids and stuff. And so she asks me if I want to stay, that she's gonna be making food, and I'm like, yeah, I can stay for a little bit, but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do other things. And she's like, okay. So I go back outside, and asking Joe's like what's going on, and I'm like, your mom told me this. Start telling him everything, and he's like, dude, that's so crazy. Like, why are they like that? Like, I can't believe, you know, that this happened. I'm like, it sounds like so freaking crazy when you hear about how they were just like bickering and bitching and complaining. Like, y'all are pathetic. We hang out a little bit talking about what happened. He asks me if I replied back to the ex, and I said no. He's like, are you going to? I'm like, no, honestly, like I really think that this is gonna be it. I'm like, yeah, like I really think this is gonna be it. Maybe this is what I needed. And he just has a big old smile. I could just do another job or find another job and I'll be okay. And I was just talking to myself like, I'll be fine, you know, like it's not going to end bad. Like I'll be alright, because every little thing is gonna be alright. So he tells me like, you better not get back with him. I'm like, I'm not. I really just want better, and I just really want just to be like happy. And I'm like, you see, like maybe this is why things happen with the peaches too. Like everything is just starting to just like come together, out with the bad and in with the good. And he's laughing. He picks me up by my hands and he's like, let's go inside. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go inside. Bubbles is already in the kitchen. She's getting to it, smiles at us, and he tells her like, Mom, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna show Alexis my bedroom. And I pull back because I'm like, what the fuck? Especially because how the combo that Bubbles just told me, how they were like, oh, she fast, blah blah, like they know me. So she's like, oh, okay, leave your door open. She didn't even hesitate, nothing. But I stopped because I was like, what? Like, I don't want her to feel weird. I don't want to feel weird myself, you know. And so he's like, it's fine. What? My mom's here, like, you know, trying to tell me like, chill. We go up into his bedroom and it is nice. He's looking for something and I'm like, what the heck? So he's going through his drawer and he's like, go ahead, sit on the bed. He pats the bed and I don't. I'm like, no, I don't sit on the bed, because no, I don't want him trying to be cute and like push me and like start kissing me on his bed. I don't know, like a movie, you know, you never know. So I sit on the little spinny chair that he has, little computer chair, and he just looks back and smiles and just shakes his head. He finally gets what he was looking for out of his drawer. So he pulls like this rock chain necklace out of the drawer, and at the time I didn't really know a lot about like jewels and stuff like that and that kind of thing, like to bring positivity and all that. So he pulls it out and it's a clear one, and he's like, here, it's supposed to give you like good vibes and all that stuff, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, you know, no thanks. And then he's like, no, like I'm giving it to you here, like they're supposed to be gifted. And I'm like, no thanks, because I didn't want anything or Bubbles to see. I was starting to get like over paranoid, like, oh my god, they're gonna think this, blah 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 blah, right? And then he's like, no, I want you to have it. Starts to undo the necklace and like go around and like put it on me. As he's putting it around me, I'm like getting all giddity and all happy, like, oh my god, you know. And he gives me a kiss on my cheek, another one right here, and then he eventually goes to my lips and kisses me, and I try and pull away and he grabs me by my chin and keeps holding there and just keeps giving me like little butterfly kisses. Just pull back. He smiles and he's like, you know, you're the only girl who pulls away. I don't know if he thought that was gonna sound cute, but I was like, and he's like, oh my bad, I didn't mean it like that, like you're cool. And I was like, I'm cool. And he starts laughing. He's like, dude, like I don't know what to say around you sometimes. I'm all, dude. And he's like, see, like I don't know what to say, like you tripped me up, and like I had never had this feeling before. And I just started like, you know, laughing, and I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. And we're like just, you know, like laughing with each other, getting all cute and giddity. So he's being cute, giving me a compliment, and I'm like, with the necklace, because I was like, okay. I was like, what is this supposed to do? He's like, it's supposed to bring you positive vibes, and maybe, like you said, out with the bad and in with the new. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, like, you know, maybe like the ex was like the big one, now this is the other one. Hopefully it happens like that. He's asking me if I was excited about the wedding and if I got the dress yet, and I was like, no, I haven't got the dress yet. I'm like, your mom just basically said like, oh, okay, like for them to take it back. I'm like, you know, they didn't give me a bag or anything. I was like, you were there. And he's like, yeah, right. But I thought like maybe you guys were gonna go back, she's gonna get it. I was like, no. And then he's like, I wonder if she's gonna get it on the day. So we're just kind of talking about it. He's all excited, talking about, do you want a big wedding? We go back to talking about wedding stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, like I don't really like all eyes on me. Big wedding, I get nervous. He's like, why would you be nervous? I'm like, because like I don't like people looking at me, like I just feel like really like ugly. And he's like, I don't see what you see, I wish you could see what I see, and you're not ugly. And so he was just being really sweet. Y'all, I was getting butterflies. I was like, oh my god, you're gonna give me chorro, because I am so like, oh my god. He's telling me about this party that Mojo's gonna have. Remember, Mojo's his best friend, and that I should go. He's like, you should go. And I'm like, I don't know. I get really nervous going to other people's places. And I'm like, it's your friend. And he's like, you should go, you should go. And I'm like, if I can take my friend. And he's like, you got friends? I'm like, I got lots of friends, even though I don't. And he's like, you should really go. Like, really trying to convince me. I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you should go. And I was like, why? He's like, because I'm gonna be there. And I'm like, he's like, and he could dance with me. He starts picking me up and we start like dancing. He's putting his hands on my thighs. I have my hand on his neck. And he's like, just doing a little, we're gonna do a little dirty dancing, which we shouldn't have. And I was getting like so shy. I was like, oh my god, like, what are you doing to me? So we're like moving our hips, being really cute, and he tries to go and kiss me again. I get like really nervous, so I just went to the side and he kissed my cheek again. And he's like, come on, let's go. And so we go downstairs because I'm like, okay, good. Because in my head, I was like, go where? Go where? Do what? With who? What? Stick where? Okay. And so we're going downstairs. He's still holding my hand as we're walking downstairs. And I look at my phone. It's the ex. And he's like, hello. And I just deleted. I was like, so I just deleted it. Mrs. Peach asks me when's a good time because she wants to talk, right? So I'm like, oh my god. So I just put the phone away. In a way, I was worried if I didn't call Peach back right away, I was going to lose my job permanently, because I did still want to work with them. I did. Mostly because it felt like another toxic home. And I didn't want to leave the babies. I wasn't ready to leave the babies. Even though I don't really talk about them that much in the Nanny series, me and those little babies, we were close, okay? We're close. And you know how you can't smell everybody's baby breath? Because it's like, oh, it's weird. I was all up in their baby breath because I was just so obsessed with them. And I love kids, you guys. I had my little lunch with them, laughing with them, and we don't really bring up the topic anymore of what happened. It's like, okay, let's not bring it up. Let's not talk about it anymore. Bubbles asks me if I'm doing anything today, what's on my agenda. I just kind of wanted to be alone. In a way, I wanted to be alone. I told her, I'm like, oh no, nothing much. There's just a lot that I have to do, like paperwork and stuff for like my mom. I'm gonna help her out, you know, for like this or that. And she's like, okay. She's like, you need me to take you anywhere? And I was like, yes. So I'm like, can you please take me to the library? And she's like, that's it? You don't need me to help you take you here or there, you know, to go, you know, fax the papers and do all that? I was like, no, I could do it all right there at the library. I was like, I would really appreciate it. She's like, yes, of course. She's like, you want me to wait for you? Anything like that? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, can you, like, you know, just there. That would be more than enough. Thank you. Joe asked if he can go. He's like, can I go? I'm like, sure, if you want to. I was like, but I'm just gonna be busy. He's like, nah, just kidding. And he's like, I gotta help my mom with the last minute stuff. And she asks me if I want to help too. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, if I finish in time doing what I have to do, then yeah, I'd love to. And she's like, okay, sounds good. So I was just like, good. Because I just need to be alone, you guys. I need to be alone in my own thoughts. Where is my super suit? We get ready, get in the car. They're gonna be taking me to the library. So me and Joe, we get in the car. Mrs. Bubbles forgets something and she's like, I'll be right back. Has to run inside to go get something. And I'm like, okay. So we're in the car, we're just waiting. Joe asks me what I'm gonna do at the library. And I was like, oh, I have to just do some paperwork and stuff. He's like, you're not just going to the library to talk to your ex? I'm like, what the? I'm like, no, what the heck? What are you talking about? And I was like, no, like, I really want to be done with that. And he's like, all right, like, just like watching me. And I was like, you're dumb. And I was like, are you jealous? And he's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? I'm like, well, there's nothing to be jealous about. We're done. And I'm like, for real, for real? He's like, for real, for real? And I'm like, yeah, for real, for real. And he's like, okay, cool. And he tells me, like, for real, you're not gonna text him? I'm like, for real, I'm not gonna text him. He's like, give me your phone. And I'm like, so I give him my phone. And he goes and he tries to see, like, if we were, like, talking or anything. Which we weren't, because I didn't reply back. Remember, I deleted the message. So he looks at it and he deletes his contact. He gives it back. And he's like, so I don't want to talk to anybody else but me. And, like, licks his lips. And as I'm, like, look, because I'm in the front, looking back at him, he's like leaning forward and he's going to grab my chin again. That was his move. And he was gonna kiss me, but he didn't get to, so his tongue touched my lip. And I pulled back, so I was like, whoop. And Bubbles gets in the car and she just looks at us. And I don't know if she saw, but she just looked at us and he just bites his lip and sits back. Like, he don't even, like, boy, you're not even scared of your mama? You little hooch? You're not scared? Okay. We're driving to the library, telling me, like, how long do you think you're gonna be? And I'm like, no, not that long. Like, I shouldn't be that long. I just needed just, like, to hear my thoughts, you guys, you know? Because you're probably thinking, like, why didn't you just go? I just needed to be alone in my thoughts. Like, I really did. And that's something that I should do even now, is be alone in my own thoughts and give myself time, because I just feel drained. And that is not a good feeling, to be all, like, exhausted and be like, a poop, because I feel like I'm just like go 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 go, and then whenever I do get a moment, I'm drained. You know guys, now I'll be falling asleep on the couch, just falling asleep like my mouth open and everything. How embarrassing. My husband would be like, babe, go to the couch, go to the room, babe, you fell asleep on the couch. And I'm like wiping my baba. I was like, okay, you know, wish you would carry me, but okay. So I'll be going and laying down. Anyways, we arrive at the library. I get off and I told Mrs. Bubbles like, if it's not too late, I'll message you when I'm done. She's like, yeah, even if it's late, Mija, just message me. And I'm like, okay. And as I'm closing the door, Joe screams, wait. And so I open it back. And he freaking blows me a kiss in front of his mom. Mom freaking hits him and she goes, stop, Joe, gosh. He starts laughing and I don't even blow it back because I'm like, this is embarrassing, like stop. And I just smile. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you guys in a little bit. And she was like, I'm going in, check myself in, and I wait for a computer. You had to go in, type your name, and it'd be like, hey, you're number 12. You have to wait 25 minutes. Number will be available for you to, you know, to use, whatever. I don't know why I'm talking like a robot. I didn't talk like a robot. Piece of paper did not say audit, just said wait for a number. I said, all right. I'm sitting down and the chair that I'm sitting down is facing towards the books and I'm just typing away on my phone, messaging one of my friends to see like, hey, you want to go to a party with me? But I didn't want to go solita, you know, and I didn't want to go and meet Joe there because he wasn't really like, oh, like let's go together. He was just like, oh, just come, you know. So maybe he was already gonna be there or they were gonna get the liquor. I didn't want to be like, oh, that's, you know, can I go with you, pick me up? I don't know, I was overthinking it, y'all. Overthinking it. She's like, yeah, I'm down. And she tells me she is going to bring Skillet. I didn't want to be weird and be like, never mind, don't come at all. So I was like, okay. And so she tells me like, where you at? I'm like, I'm at the library right now. She's like, all right, we're gonna come through. And I'm like, okay, cool. My chair is faced towards the books, so I can't see who's coming behind me or anything like that. Someone comes behind me, comes forward and kisses my cheek, and right away I already knew it was Joe. What's up? What are you doing here? Like trying to be cute with me. And I was like, oh, nothing, like playing along, just waiting for my friend. And he's like, friend, like right away. And I was just playing with him, but at the same time I wasn't, because I was waiting for my girls. So he's all friend and I'm like, yeah, I thought you said you weren't gonna talk to him no more. And I'm like, whoa, no. So he was like, what the fuck, like what's going on? I was like, no, like my friend, I'm gonna meet with my friends here. And he's like, I thought you said you're gonna come here and do your work, what you had to do. I was like, yeah, but I asked them if they want to go to the party with me and they asked me where I was and I told them here at the library. I was like, I still got 25 minutes to wait, so yeah. And he's like, oh, okay. And he kind of just like changes like his tone. I was like, you little psycho, the fuck? And he just starts laughing and he grabs my phone and he acts like he's going to take a selfie, but I know he was seeing if I was messaging the ex because the icon to take a picture was right there, but he was going like this, like he was looking, you know. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I know what he was doing. In the back of my mind I'm like, not cool. I'll just let it, just because I like him and he's probably just trying to have reassurance because the ex and all that, whatever, you know. He's like, I need to go restroom, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, well, they're back there. He's like, yes, I know. I'm like, oh, okay. So goes to the restroom, and by the time he comes back my friends are already there. Okay, so Skillet walks in. She's like, hey Lex. I'm like, sup, you know, trying to act like still like sup, like because I'm still hurt. And I gotta tell you, friendship breakups are the worst. So she comes and she sits down, and our other friend, I will name her Elizabeth. So Elizabeth sits down. So what are you doing? I was like, I had to do some work. I just sent some papers. And I was like, and I just need to get out of my head for a little bit. And she's like, all right, cool. And so we're talking about the party. I totally forget that Joe is still in the bathroom. I don't know why. I think I was just like into the convo that I forgot about Joe. We're talking. He walks by us. I see him and I light up, like I smile because I'm like, oh shit, like I forgot, you know. And he comes by and he's like, hey guys, I'm Alexis' friend. He was like, all right, I gotta go. Like he just like cuts it off like, oh, you know, hi guys. He's like, all right, I gotta go, my mom's still waiting in the car. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, so I'll see you later. I was like, yeah, hopefully. And he's like, all right, cool. Remember what I said, don't be messaging him. Better not message him because it's about me and you now. And like, you know, and then Skillet's like, oh, like, oh, you know, like he was talking cute and me all stupid. I'm like, okay. Like all stupid, you know, like, hey. And so he leaves and they start kicking their feet and they're like, girl. I'm like, I know, he fine, like he fine. And so we start talking and they're like, what's up? So we start to talk, fill them all in, and they're like, dang, so you and the ex are, you know, you're done. Skillet is already like, I already knows all the cheese man because she be keeping tabs on me. She told me, like, I'll be keeping tabs and, you know, asking, and she's like, that's crazy, like, I'm so sorry. But like, she already told you he ain't the one. I'm like, shut up, I already know, don't tell me what I already already know. I don't need y'all to tell me what I already know. Chismeando, getting along. My number gets called. I go to the back. They follow. We're just talking, and me and Skillet are just getting along like nothing happened. You know, good vibes. Good vibes. We pull up his MySpace profile. I'm like, this is him. And they're like, girl, he's cute. And I'm like, like all like, you know. And just like, you know, hyping me up, all happy for me. I'm like, oh my god, you see how he just talked to you like if you're the only one in the room. I was like, you saw that, right? And you know, just like all hype, and just I got to like, you know, talk to my girls, and it was fun. They're like, he don't date nobody? I was like, no, but he did like so and so, you know, that pretty girl. I'm like, he does like so and so. They're like, he does. And I was like, yeah, like this is all new. This is all new. And I was like, you know, explaining the situation. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if they're talking, or I'm like, I don't really know, and I don't know how to bring it up. I don't want to overstep. Didn't he just tell you not to write so and so? I was like, yeah. And they're like, then you're not overstepping. Giving me girl talk. Skillet says that she doesn't know if she's gonna be able to go, but that if she does, that she'll pitch in, you know, bring something. I'm like, okay, cool. Elizabeth is like, I think I can go. We'll see. I'm like, okay, because like I guess they already had plans, and I'm like, all right, like if y'all can go, cool. If you guys can't, cool. Like if I can't go, that's cool too. Like it's just weird. I don't want to go by myself. And like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, cool. They have to leave and go do something. They were just stopping just to see me, check in, like, hey, what's up, you know, talk, and I guess trying to feel the water between me and Skillet. I'm like, I don't care, like it's cool, whatever. At the same time, we don't gotta be like butt buddies all over again. We could just be cordial because we run with the same people. They leave, and I text Mrs. Bubbles. I'm like, you know, I'm done. It was like 2-3 hours, so it wasn't like right away, you know, because then she would be like, bitch. So it wasn't right away. I text her like, hey, I'm done. She's like, okay, cool. She comes and picks me up, and she has this black bag, and right away I knew it was my dress. So I was like all excited, like it's my dress. And so I open the door, and she's like, you know, I'm excited. Joe is in the back, and he has his hands over the arm thinking he's like, open it. She's like, why would she open it right now? Like, because there was a lot of dirt, you know? And then I was like, no, I'll wait, like all excited. So I get in the car. I don't know if he was getting like a little bit too happy, too comfortable, or what, but he's like, you're gonna try it on for me? I turned back and I said, I'm gonna do what now? And his mom's like, you better tell him. Because I was like, first of all, I'm huge on like when there's adults and there's your moms in the room, be respectful. Like I get it, like the, you know, cute, playful flirting, but there's like certain things at the same time, like we ain't not grown. What the hell you doing? You know, so I got kind of like, what the fuck? And so he kind of laughed and just like bit his lip, and she pulls down the mirror and she looks at him like quit, you know? I'm like, okay, like it's not just me. Like I know she sensed it too. I know you see. So guys, it's getting hot, so I'm gonna have to turn on the AC. I hope you guys are gonna be able to hear me because I cannot. It's hot, yo. I'm getting beads of sweat on my face. She wants to go and get some ice cream. I'm huge on ice cream. I love ice cream. I love root beer floats. So we go and get ice cream. We go and do a little bit more other shopping. He's asking me if I'm gonna be able to go to the party and who my friends were. Like who does she like all know? He was asking me a lot of questions, and where I was already in a toxic relationship, I was like, he's asking too many questions for a reason. I'm gonna put a pin in it. So I was like, damn, like why? You wanna go date her? You wanna know what her number is and this and that? And he's like, chill. He's like, I just wanted to know. I was like, for what, Joe? Like for what? They're my friends and that's all you need to know. He starts laughing. He's like, all right, cool. So we go back to their house, and I have the black bag. I'm like, all excited, and I'm like, can I leave it here since I don't have anywhere to take it right now? She's like, yeah, that's fine, Mija, like that's fine. And she's like, can you go try it on to make sure that everything's nice and everything fits well? I'm like, gonna go tell me twice. So I go put it on, and she calls me out, and I love how it looks. Like it looks so freaking nice. I am ecstatic. I feel so cute in it, like so freaking cute. You have no idea. I don't know what happened with my mom or what, but she was pissed and she wanted me home. So I'm like, okay. So after I was done walking in the dress like my mom tells me she's gonna pick me up, and I'm like, okay, like I'm still at the place that you dropped me off at. I'll be here. My mom's like, okay, and I don't want to hear no attitude. I'm like, no one's fighting with you, Ma, because she was already like ready to fight, and I wasn't. Like, why are we gonna fight? Like, okay, I'm ready. Like, come get me. I'm putting the dress away. Me and Bubbles are laughing. because like I was doing a little stunt and I was like happy, you know, like okay. So we're like laughing and me and Joe get to talking and he's like asking me like, hey, are you gonna be able to go to that party? And I text my friends and I was like, well yeah, if my friends get to go, like I don't want to just be like on you and you not like be able to hang out with your friends, because I'm like I don't know anybody and I get like really, you know, weird social anxiety. And he's like, yeah, like for sure, like see if they can come, and if they can't, then I guess we can hang out another time. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So it was just cool. It was like cool vibes, but I could see that he was kind of acting a little bit weird, like he was in his head, like, you know, when someone's thinking and you're like what's going on, you know. But I didn't want to press it. I didn't want to come off weird, and I didn't want to come off, I don't know, I didn't want to be too pushy. I text the girls and I tell them like, hey, are you guys gonna be able to go? They're like, I think it's gonna be a no, Lex. I got other things I was gonna do. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, like don't even worry about it. Because you know how sometimes your social anxiety will go down here and you could do anything, you can like vibe and have fun, but then it just like spikes up, so you're like, I didn't want to go anyway. So I was already feeling like I don't want to go anyway, you know. As I'm getting ready, getting my backpack and stuff, I tell Joe, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go because like they can't go, so like have fun. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, have fun, and I think the next time I'm gonna see you is the wedding. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, because like he usually like does something cute, like kisses me on my cheek, pulls me forward, you know. So I grab his hands, like I make the move, and he kind of like pulls back, and I'm like, oh like I came on too strong, like oh okay, it's like when he wants, you know. I hear my mom honking, not just once, like honk honk honk. Like I don't know why she was always trying to mother. I'm like, oh okay, I gotta go. So I can squeeze his hands again like really tight, and he like kind of like pulls them away, and I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'll walk you to the door. I'm like, all right, cool. So he's walking to the door, and I hug him, and as I'm walking away, he freaking slaps my ass. And I'm like, and I look back, and he like bites his lip and like smiles, and I'm like, mixed signals as hell. So I'm like, okay. I get in the car with my mom. She couldn't see because like I had to walk down, so she was parked right here. Thank God she didn't see. She went pissed. I get in the car and my mom's like, did you have fun? And I'm like, yeah, it was okay. And she was like, okay, cool. She asked me if I ate. I'm like, yeah, I just got done eating. We had this and had some ice cream. And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this. Do you want anything for later? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. So we pull up to my mom's friend's house, and my mom's like talking to me, and my mom went in waves, you know. So she was having a down right now. She was like just talking to me about how she wanted to get a place, and she's like, you are gonna stay with me, like you are gonna live with me. I was like, oh my god, here we go again. So right off the bat we started having an argument. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now she was saying that she was going to go back and wait to get approved for the house, but she was gonna stay with the stepdad, and I was gonna go with her. Like there's no reason for me to be out and about, and you know, other people are right that I need to be home with her. And I'm like, I don't care what other people say, like I don't give a damn what other people say. Anyone is saying and how I need to be home with my mom and I shouldn't be out in the calle, this and that. I really hated that, because I'm like, does she really care that I'm out and about, or she just give a F because other people are like bugging her? Like I know she cared, but y'all know what I mean. So we start fighting. I start yelling at my mom, and I'm just like pissed. Like I'm pissed. How are you gonna care what they say? You don't care. I'm like, I don't care what Cola says. I don't care what that cousin says, this cousin. And she's like, no, like it's true, like you have too much freedom, you're too much out and about. I tell her like, okay, get a house, get an apartment, but I don't want to live with him. I'll move in with you once you get approved. And she's like, no, you're the child, you can't be making these decisions and telling me what you're gonna do and what you're not gonna do. And so we were just fighting and fighting, and it gets to the point where I make my mom cry, and I don't like making my mom cry, like I really don't. But she was like so frustrated with me that she begins to cry, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, Mom, I don't want you to cry. It just makes me mad that you want me to move back, and I don't want to be there. Like I don't want to be there. And for the longest I kept thinking like, am I crazy that I don't want to live with him? We had nowhere else to go, and my mom couldn't stay at her friend's house that long. I was like, I know I'm not crazy. Like I know I'm not crazy. My mom was like, you have to compromise. Like I could just, like he could just be in the room, I could just be in the room. And I was like, no, because I don't want to hear you guys laughing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear you guys even getting along. Like I don't want to hear any of it. And she's like, Alexis, you have to, like, you know, compromise with her. And I'm like, no. So we start fighting, and it ends really badly to the point where I'm like, I'm not staying here tonight. Like I'm not even staying here at the spot with you tonight. Low-key, I was like, because I want to go party, and I didn't want to be home with her, and I didn't want to be with her friends, and I didn't want to be there. I was like, why am I here? So I text my friends, and I'm like, are y'all sure you guys can't go? Like I really don't want to be here with my mom. We just got into it. I just want to go out. And it's not like I was going out to go do drugs, go get high, go drink. I just wanted to be out. Like, I just wanted to be out. They say, no, we don't know yet. If things change, we'll hit you up. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm even thinking to the point, like, I'll just go by myself. Like, I don't need none of y'all to go with me. Joe texts me and he's like, hey, how's everything? And I'm like, good. He's like, you for sure can't go? And I'm like, no. Like, my friends, they can't go. I was like, and my mom and I just got in a fight. I don't know if I even want to chance it. And he's like, okay, yeah, don't chance it so that you can go to the wedding and, you know, nothing bad happens. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, like, she'll probably like not let me go to the wedding. I didn't even think about that. I get off the phone and I get a private call and I already know it's the ex, so I just start hitting decline. Ring, decline, ring, decline, ring, decline. And it's all private. Like, it's all private. That's weird, my phone just rang. It's all private. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, nope, I don't want to hear them at all. So my mom comes into the room that I'm at and she starts to talk to me and she's like, you know, I want things to be better between us, and if you want to go hang out with your friends, that's fine, but you can't just be doing whatever the hell you want to do. Like, you are a child. And I'm like, okay. So things were getting a little bit better, right? Between that, like, we had an argument and she was like, you can go, and I was like thinking in my head, like, I was gonna go anyway, you know, a little mocosa. Time passes and it's like, it's getting a little bit later and I'm just like excited and just thinking about the freaking dress, and I'm just so excited. I'm like, oh my god, like, he's so nice. Oh my god, like, things are like coming into place, like everything, like, things are just like, it's so, I'm just so happy. Like, how can things just be falling into place like that? Like, so I text my friends and I'm like, hey, I'm going to try it one last time, can you guys go or not? Like, I really want to go. He's gonna go. I think it'll be fun. And they're like, yeah, things change, like, let's just go. Because I guess, I don't know, they were not wanting to go, or I don't know if they just like wanted me to freaking bug or something, I don't know. So last minute they could, and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll head down there. And I'm like, okay, cool, like, they'll get a ride. I'm like, all right, nice, everything's working out perfectly. It's so weird how things plan out. I text Joe and I'm like, hey, we can go, like, I'll see you there. He didn't reply. I message again and I'm like, hey, like, hopefully I can see you there, because I'm like, that's the whole reason why I'm going. Like, I'm gonna feel so weird if he doesn't even go and I'm there. They're gonna be like, who's this beach? And I'm gonna be like, I'm Alexis. We're walking, we get a ride halfway. Kids whose parents have money, they party different, right? So we get there and right away Skillet's like, oh, like, this is okay. Like, if I would've known like this, we would've been here like a long time ago. I'm like, beach, so you were holding out, you know. And we start like talking and bickering with each other. We're like old viejas, just like fighting with each other all the damn time, right? Right away I see Mojo and he's like, dang girl, because, you know, I did get a little cute or whatever, grab a shirt and kind of make it like go around and make it like really tight so I can look really cute. I was like, it's my time to shine, and what's up? I'm a little like, okay, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like I was in a good mood, but like my social anxiety was like down and I was like feeling it. You know, sometimes like, I don't know, sometimes I could be at a 10, you guys, and I could be feeling amazing, and then there's times where I'm like at a 3 and I'm like, what the fuck, like, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could get out of it. I wish there was like something where I can just like snap or magic word and I could just feel better. But I was feeling good that day, so I'm like, oh, where's Joe? And he's like, he's around here, going like that. And I was like, oh yeah, like where? Like, you know, he's like, who told you about the party? I'm like, Joe. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, dang, you don't want us here or what? He's like, chill guys, say that, I just want to know who told you about the party. And I was like, oh, it's Joe. And that was just like weird to me. It didn't rep Skillet the right way. Skillet's more about like you said that for, like, you know. So I look at Skillet right away because I already know she's already gonna be like in a mood, and her face went like, she's like real serious, you know. And so Mojo was like, all right, like, make yourself feel comfortable, there's the drinks over there, there's that, whatever, have a good time. Looks at Skillet, he's like, sup girl? And she's like, boy, bye. Like, just quick, right? Elizabeth is more of like an innocent Elizabeth, you know, just like looking around like, oh, ha, you know, hi guys. And she already has 2 drinks in her hand, and I'm like looking at her, I'm like, did you see them pour it or you just grabbed it? She's like, they were right there. And I'm like, oh my god. So I grab them from her and I'm like, no, like, let's go get you some, like, see them pour it. And so she's like, okay. So we're walking and Skillet's like, yo, why are we here? And I was like, you know why we're here. I was like, That's just how Mojo talks. And she's like, you see, that's why it should be happening, because you let people talk to you crazy. I'm like, yo, how is he talking to me crazy? He just said. And so like me and her are like going at it. We lose Elizabeth, and I'm like, oh my god, where me and her are just bickering like old pinche viejas, you know? And so I'm looking around trying to find Elizabeth, and then I see a mutual friend, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up? And he's like, hey girl. So me and him start talking, Skillet too, and Skillet's like, you know, feeling a little bit like, okay, calm, because her and that dude, like, they've like gotten along before, you know what I'm saying? So they start talking, and I'm like, okay, cool, like I can just, you know, leave Skillet here. I'm gonna go and look for Joe, because I really was like, where is Joe, you know? So I'm looking around trying to find, and I see Mojo. He looks at me and he kind of just like turns and walks away, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go and follow him, and I'm like, are you hiding from me? And he's like, why would I do that? You know, trying to laugh. And I'm like, I don't know, like, and I'm starting to feel weird, because I'm like, what the hell is up? Like, what's going on? So I text Joe again, Jojo, and I'm like, hey, I'm here, like, where are you at? And with a smiley face, because I'm like, I'm not trying to think bad, I'm not trying to put any of that out there, like, it's just good, like, I don't know, you know? So I'm like, Joe's here for sure? And he's like, yeah, I think so, I don't know, maybe he left. I was like, I've been texting him, he's not replying. He's like, oh yeah, he lost his phone. I'm like, he lost his phone? He's like, yeah, I think he lost his phone. I'm like, you think or you know? And he's like, 21 questions? And I'm like, what's going on or what? Because like, it was just weird. And he's like, just chill and have fun. He passes me the drink that he has, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I have a good little attitude with him, because I'm like, I hate that. I hate when boys just try to shut you up. Don't let a boy or a man shut you up. Don't, like, and don't ever play into that shit either, because once you let it happen once, they'll do it again, and then it becomes a habit where like they can just like shut you up, or like try to be like somewhat cute with you. Don't, like, whatever you tolerate will keep happening because you are tolerating it. And if you're like, oh, why me, because you tolerated it. You know how I'm like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna be the type where like a guy would cheat on it because I tolerated it. Don't tolerate it. And if he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. If they wanted to, they would. But if they don't, it's because they don't want to. And that's what sucks. I know it's a little tangent, but I feel like I talk to y'all between like in, you know what I'm saying? All right, so cool. So I get annoyed, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like this, I got another little fan going because I need to have something on me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I just probably sound stupid over here asking like, where's Joe? Where's Joe? And freaking Mojo was like, not here. You know, obviously he doesn't want to talk to me or whatever, because he would be out here, he would be talking with everybody. I don't know, I was just in my head thinking, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I go and I find Skillet. She's dancing on freaking homeboy, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like she's having fun. Elizabeth, she's dancing too. Everyone's having fun, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I just need to let loose and just not care. Someone's walking by and he has a bottle, and I'm like, hey, let me take a shot. I take 3 freaking shots. You guys know already, I don't ever really drink when I'm out and about with like other people, because I'm like, my mom's always said like, what if they just leave you for dead? They don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you're right. But I was already feeling some way, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a shot. So I took 3 shots, and then I was gonna take a 4th shot, but Skillet was like, hey, grabs the bottle. She's like, she's good. I was like, what do you mean I'm good? Like, so I was getting pissed off at Skillet, and she's like, yo, like you're good, as she's still twerking, dancing, like, you good, man? And like twerking and shaking her ass, and I'm like trying so hard not to laugh, and Elizabeth's laughing, and she has a drink. She has 2 drinks. I don't know why Elizabeth needed both. It wasn't like one was a chaser. So she gives me one, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, you see I'm pour it? She's like, yes, mom. Okay. So I start drinking on it, and then Mojo comes by because everyone's dancing, having a good time, and he starts to like try to like dance on me, and I'm like, yo, no. And he starts laughing. He's like, why? I'm like, because I like Joe, and Joe's your friend, like what are you doing? And so he's like literally like trying to like rub his little thingy, you know? And Skillet was like, what don't you get? She said no, like back off. And so he starts laughing. He's like, all right, y'all whack, and like walks off. I'm like, okay. And so while she's walking off, I'm like, hey, where's Joe? You know, just to say it. And he's like, go look for him, he's upstairs. And I'm like, okay. Skillet grabbed my hand, and she's like, girl, let's go. I was like, no. She's like, let's go. And I'm like, no. She's like, let's go. And I'm like, I said no. Like I wanted to know why he said go upstairs, and I'm like, no, I said no. Elizabeth puts both her drinks down, and when baby Elizabeth gets crazy, she's like a little Sour Patch, so she knew something was gonna pop off, so she puts her drinks down, and she's like tying up her hair. She's like, let's go upstairs. And I'm like, let's go. So me and Elizabeth are vibing off each other's like, you know, let's go. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And so I text Joe one more time, just so that he would know, like, hey, I'm at the party, you know, trying to give him like a benefit of the doubt. So I text him, I'm like, hey, I'm at the party downstairs, where are you? Question mark. So I could already see the messages I have sent him before. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So Skillet comes behind us and she's still holding on to her dude. So it's her, she's holding on to her dude, Elizabeth's in the middle, and I'm in the front, and we start walking. To the point where I think everybody felt our vibe at the party because they're all like looking, and that's just because like I was human, y'all. Hot. Even though this dude's not my boyfriend or nothing, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you over here kissing me, telling me stuff, and we talk about like, you know, I was pissed. So I'm mad, right? Everyone is literally looking at us at the party because I know they feel it. I know they feel something because they're just looking at us as they're drinking, like, damn, maybe because we were walking all cute, whatever, but we were walking crazy. Like, we were just like walking on the beat with each other. The music was popping. I was like, all right, cool. This house is huge. So we go up the stairs. Okay, it's like those little fancy ass stairs. So I was like, okay. Walking up there. As I'm walking up there, a friend walks down and she's like, hey Lex, grabs my hand. She's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, nothing. Like, just I cut it off short. I was like, I'll talk to you later, right? She's like, okay, cool. You know, and I was walking up, I was like, yeah, I swear, like, it's like a movie, like things, oh my god, like what the hell. So I'm like getting pissed. As I'm going up there, my phone starts to vibrate and I'm like, oh, it's Joe, right? I'm thinking it's Joe. No, it's the ex. And he's saying like, where are you at? What are you doing? Someone said they saw you at this, blah, blah, blah. Don't message me. Ugh. Go work on taking that thing off your neck. Okay, so I'm pissed. I'm fuming. I'm like, ugh. Seeing that he messaged me, I'm like, like, why are you messaging me? And his name didn't even pop up because remember, Joe had deleted his contact, but I knew the number already, like, come on. But I was just like, I was just pissed off all over again, right? So I'm walking upstairs and I start opening up the doors one by one. Now they had a lot of doors, right? So open one, one's a closet, okay? And as I'm opening up another one, I feel Elizabeth grabbing my hand. She's like, girl, let's just go, like that. And Skillet's like, come on Lex, let's just go. And I was like, why? Like, why? Like, why y'all want to go all of a sudden? But when y'all want to get crazy and you guys want to get stupid, I'm front and center. And I was like, you Skillet, like, you are the least want to say anything to me. I was like, you bitch. So I'm like fighting with her and Skillet was like, yo, like, let's take it outside then, like, come on. I was like, nah, you just trying to distract me, bitch. Like, I already done had you, like fighting her, right? And so it gets to the point like we're fighting. The dude that she's with was like, yo, I'm gonna be downstairs. Like, he was just like over it because I'm telling you, we bicker like viejas. And so me and Skillet are in each other's face and I'm like, you bitch, I expect you to ride for me. I'm like, you're not no freaking rider. And I'm like yelling at her. Elizabeth's like, come on y'all, come on parents, like, because we're just like arr, arr, arr. And so as we're still arguing, I just turn my back and I open up another door, and as I'm opening up door by door, I feel like I'm going to myself. Like, I literally feel like I'm gonna poop myself. And I'm like, why am I doing this again? Like, I just got out of this stupid thing with the ex and the whole thing, whatever, and I think I met this cool ass dude. Why am I going through this again? You know, like, why? Like, why am I? So I'm just mad at myself. I'm more mad at myself, and I'm fighting with Skillet because I'm like, the nerve of you trying to tell me to go downstairs and we should just leave. Like, why don't you just want me to see? So I was mad, and it was alcohol, and I was pissed, and I was feeling kind of good at the same time, you know. So I was mad, and so we tried to open up a door. I tried to open up a door. It's locked. So I start shaking it crazy, like a crazy bitch. Okay, I'm just like shaking it. I'm like, what the hell? And at this time, some dude is coming by us, and it's Mojo. And I look at him, and he's like, you find him yet? Like that. And I'm like, no. And then he's like, come here. And so he takes me to another room, okay? So it's like a room, and then it has like it's a master bedroom, and it has the restroom, right? So we go into the master, and I'm like, okay, where he at? And then freaking Mojo opens the door, and in there, the girl that Joe has been crazy about is on the freaking counter. Joe is just all over her, kissing her. I felt so stupid. I felt so freaking dumb. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. Like, that's not my boo or nothing, but I was just like, what? So when Mojo opened it, he just freaking walked off. Like, it was like open to the point where like Joe didn't even see who did it, where it was just like so smooth, and they were so into what they were doing that they didn't even notice us right away. The music was so loud that they didn't even hear us opening the door. The music was so loud that even when I said, what the f, they didn't even turn. They were so into just like macking on each other. I still remember her on the freaking counter. Her legs were spread wide, like wide. She had like a skirt on, a white skirt, and he was like in between just kissing her. Her head was thrown back, and she was just like feeling it, and he was just all over her. His hands were like on her ass. and it was just like I took like a visual picture where I was just like, okay. And so when I said what nothing, I felt stupid. And so Skillet was louder like, yo, what the fuck, like that, right? Like to get some noise. And he looks over, looks at me dead in the face, and I look at him and I'm like, all right, bet. And so I start to walk. I didn't expect man to chase me. He's not my man, right? We were just playing whatever. I didn't expect nothing, but there was feelings involved, right? Because before I left, how he was like, make sure you don't text him, right? Make sure, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So we look at each other, and I'm walking down the stairs, and Elizabeth grabs my hand and she's like, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah, chill. Elizabeth, like, don't. Like, Elizabeth had the thing of like always her love language was like love and like calling you like certain words, but like her calling me baby at the moment, I was like, not right now, all right, not right now. So walking downstairs, she's like holding my hand, and then I just feel her hand being like moved from another hand, and it's Joe, and he's trying to turn me around. He's like, let me talk to you, let me explain. I was like, dude, f you, like for real, you get the hell off of me. And he was like, nah man, like I just had too much to drink, like we're just having fun, like let me talk to you, like come on, let's go outside, like let me talk to you. I'm like, no, like we're nothing, like I don't know why I tripped, I don't know why me and Mojo were looking for you. I threw Mojo in there too, I don't give a fuck. So I was like, me and Mojo were over there looking for you. He's all, Mojo? I was like, yeah, he's the one who told me that you were upstairs. He's like, word, like mad. And I was like, why are you gonna get mad at somebody else for what you're doing? He's like, you told me you weren't gonna even come. I was like, I've been messaging you. So he takes out his freaking phone, and he sees all the messages. He's like, I just realizing everything. I was like, damn, you're a dog. I was like, you really are. You're over here telling me all these nice things. So we just start going off. We're fighting. The girl he was like crushing on comes out, and she's like, she's pretty, y'all. Like I still remember like how pretty she looked. She was pretty, and so that even hit my insecurity even more, because we were like so polar opposite of each other, right? So I'm like, why are you trying to entertain me? Go entertain that. Like obviously like it's not the same, like what the hell? And so she's coming out and she's all, Joe, like calling him like, the fuck? Like what are you doing? Give me a minute. And like telling her like, I'm like, nah, you can have all the time in the world, go talk to her. And I'm like trying to leave again, and he like grabs me, but he grabs me kind of forcefully, like he was getting upset where like I wasn't listening to him. And so I was like, don't can't touch me. And so his ass wants to say, oh, but the ex can. And I said, really? You're really gonna throw that in my face? Wow. All right, wow. Don't talk to me. Fuck you, everybody. I was all mad. And then so Skillet's walking down, and I'm walking again, and he tries to grab me again, and Skillet grabs it, and she's all, yo, get your hands off my girl, like don't talk to her. And he was just like that, because Skillet very intimidating. Okay, and so girl is finally coming down, and Elizabeth is trying to get crazy with her, and she was like, you over here taking my friend's man. I was like, nope, we weren't together, like don't even worry about it. I'm like, we weren't together. I already knew that he had a crush on you. It's cool, like y'all could be something now. Because I was just like, I didn't want anyone to get crazy with her, get in her face. That's why I didn't get in her face and yeah, because we weren't anything. I already know how he felt about her. Like it's okay, it's cool. It's my fault. It's my fault for thinking that it could have been something. It's my fault for getting too excited and giddy, and he probably knew that she was gonna go, and that's why he was getting scared towards the end. It's my fault. So I was telling her, I was like, nah, it's my bad. I thought like there was something, like we did kiss earlier. She said, what? So they already probably had something, because she was upset about that. And I was like, we kissed earlier, we've been kissing. And he slapped my ass. He slapped my ass. And I'm really cool with his mom. Like I was just telling her everything, and I was a little tipsy, you know. I said all the cheese man. She bought me a dress, and she my friend. Like I was just so pissed. And Skillet's like, babe, shut up. So she's like pushing me out. Mojo comes out, and he's all, yo, what happened? I was all, shut up, F you too. Like all mad at him, because I'm like, it's not even his. Those 3 shots and whatever I was sipping on from Elizabeth hit me like a moto. All right, I was just like, everybody, man, everybody. And so my phone starts buzzing, and it's the ex, and he's like, you know, bitch, I can't believe that you're out there, you know, getting drunk, whatever. And so I call him, and it's not because I don't think like, oh, I called him because I'm gonna be like, I love you. I called him, and I was like, yo, you, I don't know why you think you can tell me anything. I'm just going off on him. Oh, baby, let me talk. And I was like, no, Becky, don't come here, baby. I was just like screaming at him. I was like, I don't want to be with you no more. I'm already talking to somebody. And like, I didn't tell him what happened, but I was like, I'm already talking to somebody. Don't worry about me, because I ain't worried about you. Go suck on your mom's tit. Like I was pissed, and I blocked, and I just didn't talk to him, and we just continued to walk. Okay, we walked, and I was just pissed. Now Bubbles starts calling me. Bubbles, and I'm like, oh my god, he went and told your mommy. Like, why do I mess with guys that are like in love with their mommies. Even though he don't really love his mom, he's disrespecting, but whatever, that's besides the point, right? Okay, whatever. So we're walking and I'm like, so I declined Bubba's call and I was like, hey, I can't talk right now, everything okay? And she's like, are you okay? And I just left it at that because I'm like, obviously he probably called his mom, told him something, whatever, because I was like, I'm not going to the wedding, because I was just like so mad. And I think I had a valid reason, y'all. Like, I think I had, like, if you would have seen this girl, I'll try and see if I can find a scene from somewhere where the way she was on this counter, I was like, and how I said, what the fuck, and no one turned around. You know how embarrassing that is? And then your friend got be like, what the fuck, like get all like crazy, and we're just like watching, and I was just like, low-key, like that's kind of hot, but like that hurt. Skillet doesn't say anything. She just puts her hand on my shoulder. I just look at her, and then I'm like, I know how to pick them, huh? And then she was like, dude, nah. And so she's like, don't do that. And I was like, don't do what? And so I started crying. And if I cry now, it's not because I'm hurt. It's just because like I hate to remember like the pain that like I would feel, you know? I was just like mad, and I was like, dude, like why? Like why can't I be liked? Why can't I be loved? Like why? Like why? Why? And she just started telling me like, it's okay, like it's not you, it's them. I was like, all the time. And she's like, yes, like all the time. And I'm like, no. We ended up dropping off Elizabeth. It was just me and Skillet. And Skillet was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, dude, I don't even know. Like I don't even know. Like I feel numb. I feel numb right now. I'm so mad. Like I wanted to do like stupid shit, you know, where people like just start punching each other, like some 13 type stuff, or like go and vandalize something. Like I wanted to feel pain. Like I wanted to feel it so bad, and where I felt so numb, I was like, damn, like the adrenaline was so high still, where I felt like I don't like this feeling. Like I don't like this feeling. I was just telling her, I'm like, you want to go back to me and my mom's? Like she's with her friend, and she's like, oh yeah, like let's go. So I call my mom and I tell my mom like, hey, I'm already going back. And she's like, are you drunk? And I'm like, nope, I'm not. At this point I was already sobered the F up, okay? Like it was already all out. And so we stop at a gas station, we get some water, we get some snacks, and we're just like walking. And my mom texted me, she's like, you need to pick you up. And I was like, nope, like we'll go. I used to walk so much as a child where I'm like, how did we not get kidnapped? Like for real, how did we not get kidnapped? How? So we're walking, and as we're walking, I guess like my phone, I had like lowered the volume or something, but Joe was texting and calling and texting and calling, and Bubbles was, where are you at? I'll go pick you up. Are you okay? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, like please come to the wedding still. And like she was just texting me like, are you okay? Are you fine? You know, texting. And Joe's just like, I'm so sorry, like I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my god, like I didn't think that you would even give me a chance, like you're too good for me, like trying to do all that where it's like that don't even make sense, so shut up. We finally get there, and my mom and her friend are just chilling. They're hanging out with some friends, and I asked my mom's friend like, hey, can I go on your laptop? She's like, yeah, sure. I want to go on the laptop because I want to go on MySpace. I want to be like, fuck everybody, fuck it, blah, blah, blah. But no, I want to go on MySpace just to like look at stuff, and I guess like write a little entry or something, whatever. So I go onto MySpace, and I see that I have a message, and it's from that girl, and she's like asking me like questions like how long me and Joe have been talking, what have we been doing, have we slept together, what stuff have we done, and like doing a whole thing saying that like her and Joe have been like secretly like dating each other and not letting anybody know because she can't date. She didn't want to get in trouble, so she wanted to know like what's going on. I told her everything. I told her about like us kissing. I told her about this, and my phone is going ding ding ding, and it gets to the point where I just put it on mute because I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Seeing how he was with that girl and how he was kissing her, it was intimate. Like it was an intimate freaking kiss where it was like I had no business messing with him, like at all. Like at all. It was so intimate where I'm like, okay, yeah, they have been more. So as I was talking to that girl, and we were giving each other details, and that she had knew of me, but he had pretty much just said that like I was a friend and his mom, and I got along really well, and that's why I was always there. And so I'm like, what the, like who was I talking to? Like it was crazy because I'm like, oh, okay, like, oh, I get it. So she even sent me like a few pictures because I like, you know, was like curious and stuff, like, so like, did you guys hang out a lot? She's like, yeah, we hung out like frequently and stuff. And she showed pictures. She's like, please don't post them, like I'm really not allowed to date and I don't want to get in trouble, and it's obvious that like you didn't know what was going on, and like I don't blame you at all in this situation. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, like why the fuck would you blame me? The fuck. So she was sending me pictures, and he was like, we right next to her, his tongue out, kissing her. Like they were in a relationship. Like I don't give a what he said. They were in a relationship. I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'm gonna block you now. So it was nice talking to you. Bye. So I did what I said. I blocked her because there was no reason for her to have that open, you know, because like there was not going to be no going back and forth. And I let her know, like, okay, I'm gonna block you now. Like, we don't gotta be friends, we don't even gotta be cordial, it's fine. Like, we macking on the same dude, we pretty much sister wives, but it's okay. So I blocked her, and then me and Skillet were just talking, and I was like, dude. My mom and her friend are, you know, having fun drinking. Skillet decides to go and steal like a couple beers. I don't really like drinking, but like, it don't do nothing for me. Like, it can get me drunk, but like I don't like to sip on it. Like, I'm literally like gagging the whole time. I can't drink it like a chingona, like, oh, I'm like gagging, right? Well, I plugged my nose and I chugged them. I chug them because I was like, I chugged it because I did not want to taste it at all, like at all. I eventually unblocked the ex because I just wanted to see what he had to say, because what, I was toxic. I was a toxic little fricker. So I unblocked the ex and I wanted to see what he had to say. So his messages were coming in, Joe's message was coming in, and I was like, would you look at that? 2 peas in a pod, 2 best friends in a room, they might kiss. Yes, we will. No, we won't. No, we fucking won't. Again, it's just a constant thing. It gets to the point where me and Skillet are laughing. We're like, damn, you know, and then Joe's just like, it's not like that. Me and her, this is our first time. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, how you gonna lie like that? Like, homegirl already told me, bitch. So I'm like mad because the more I'm not replying, because I haven't been replying, the more like the excuses are folding in, you know, and I'm like, what the heck? I never thought you were gonna give me a chance. I didn't think you were really gonna take me serious. Like, you're too good for me. Like, pretty much just trying to compliment me, and I'm just like just reading them. I'm like, dude, like, you hear this? And she's like, all men are the same, all men are dogs, you know, giving me the whole like viejita talk, whatever, like, you know how old ladies say, like, all men cheat, all men cheat. And I hate when people say that, because it's like, then like it would go for the same for women, how men say that about women, like, all women cheat. Like, no, we don't. No, we don't, bitch. And if that's what you need to tell yourself to sleep better at night so that you could do what you're doing, then just say that. Just say that you're a cheater, and that's it. Like, don't be like, well, because they probably do it too. No, pendejo stupido. No, they don't. So not all women are the same, and not all men are the same, period. I wake up and I have a little hangover. My mom's looking at me and she's like, did you drink? And I'm like, no, but I probably smell like it. But she just let me have it because my eyes were puffy, and I was just in my feelings, y'all. I was still crying like a little bitch. I was so hurt. I was listening to We Belong Together, and like I was crying. Like, I was really like, oh my god, we talk about I was gonna be his wife. I was like so sad. Like, I was just like, oh my like trying to, like, you know, feel bad for myself, listening to sad music. Like, why do we do that? Why do we do that? I don't know. I was just talking to me and I was like, dude, maybe you're not meant to be with a man. And I was like, yo, like, shut up. Like, so I eventually texted Bubbles because she kept messaging me. She's like, please message me, please let me know you're at least okay, please let me know that you got home. I'm concerned, we don't have to talk about Joe, just please let me know you're okay. And I'm like, I'm okay, I'm with my mom, everything's fine. Left it at that. I had the phone and the ex kept messaging, and I was like, look, I still don't want nothing to do with you. I don't care if you say all of a sudden now you love me. I don't care if you're saying all the right things now. Like, it's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. But no, for real, like, bitch, leave me alone. So I was like, nah. And then when me and Skillet were talking, she was telling me that homeboy's still chilling with the girl. So I'm like, why are you concerned about me? Why? Because he probably thought I was moving on, which I thought I was too. And so he probably got scared, okay? So I was like, leave me alone. Like, for real, I'm gonna block you again. Like, I only unblocked you because you said you're gonna do some stuff, and I was scared. So like, I'm gonna block you again if you don't stop. And so he didn't write back. He just like stopped. Joe was still messaging like a lot, like, can you please text my mom and let her know that you're okay? Like, I told her what happened, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I already texted your mom, Joe, like, don't talk to me, like, period. Oh my god, my voice is going. I was like, don't talk to me. So he's like, you still coming to the wedding? I was like, don't talk to me. You still coming to the wedding? Don't talk to me. You still coming to the wedding? Don't talk to Me and Skillet just hanged out the whole day, and I'm literally like just in my feelings. My mom knew I was in my feelings. She tried to cheer me up, asked me kind of what was going on. She didn't really know much, but I just didn't want to talk to her about it. Me and Skillet were just talking, and she was like, "You still gonna go to the wedding?" I was like, "Yes, girl, I'm still gonna go to the wedding." Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not fair to Bubbles. Like, just because she raised a piece of poop does not mean that like I'm not gonna go. What Joe starts talking to you, and she's like trying to like, I felt like in a way she was like trying to instigate a fight already, and I was like, dude, like stop. Like, I don't want, like, stop. If I talk to him, I talk to him, and if I'm a dumbass and I like kiss him again, then that's on me. Like, what the hell? Like, no one's telling you what to do, no one's telling you anything, because she had a boo and she had a girl. So I'm like, don't tell me nothing. Like, you're out there bumping and grinding on homeboy, hope you use protection. And so like we started fighting, and we were always fighting. And so she's like, you know, you're right, I shouldn't say anything. I'm like, yeah, at all. Like, don't tell me anything at all. So I'm on my phone and I'm like just doing whatever Peach calls, and so I just answer it. I don't know why. I was just like, fuck it, like what else could come, you know? So I'm like, okay. So I answer it, and it's Peach, and she's like, hey Alexis, can you talk? And I'm like, yes. And so I kind of have like a little tone in my voice because of everything in the situation. And at this point I was like, YOLO, I don't care. She's like, I just want to start off by saying I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, because I didn't know what was going on, you know, like what the hell, you're saying sorry to me? So I was like, okay. And she was like, you know, I did a lot of self-reflecting the other day, and I was talking, and you know, I have been very harsh on you, and I have been blah blah blah. Pretty much she's saying that the reason why she's a bitch is because she sees potential in me, and that she should, you know, she felt like if she was nicer, that I would take advantage of her kindness because she's rich. And pretty much just that like that's why she was mean to me, because she's seen worth in me, and she didn't want me to get comfortable, because when people get comfortable they get sloppy in the work environment, and just giving herself excuses. And I'm like, okay, like literally that's it. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, got it, understand. That's it. That was from my end. And I would really appreciate if you wouldn't tell or gossip about us. I was like, I wasn't gossiping about you, as I was talking to my friend about certain things that you guys would do that I didn't think was right. And she was like, no, you're right, but if you have any concerns or complaints, please tell me. Like, trying to sound professional and shit. And I'm like, but I have talked to you, and I have, like, what do you mean? Like, I have talked, oh my god, since I've been talking for like over an hour, I have brought concern and told you guys this and that. And she was like, yes, and now I'm gonna, you know, be able to listen. And I really appreciate you not saying everything, because I know what she was referring to. Doesn't want to lose me as an employee, and that she really likes me in her kid's life. And I was like, okay. And she was like, and I really hope you can come in today. And I was like, there it is, bitch, there it is. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I can today. Since you said not to come in yesterday, I figured that you wouldn't want me there at all, so I made plans. I didn't have any plans, but I didn't want her to know that I'd be there. I see. So she was like, okay, I understand, I completely get it. So do you think you'll be available for this day, that day, that day? I'm like, yes. And she's like, are you going to be at the wedding? I was like, yes, of course. Okay, sounds great. I'll see you there. I had two totally flip. I don't know how Mrs. Bubbles read her, but she probably read her for Phil's, where she probably felt like, what the fuck? And where I knew a lot of secrets, she's probably like, I don't want to, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so that ended good, and I told Skillet, I was like, dude, like, it actually was like a good combo. Like, I was really scared, you know? I really thought she was gonna be like, I'm suing you, you know? And she was like, you're so stupid, dude, like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm telling you what I thought. And so like we start going again, and like just fighting. We're always fighting, like bickering, old ladies, man. I got that one at the door. I'm like, ooh, I'm on a roll, okay, ooh, ah. So my mom comes in, she's asking me like, hey, you guys wanna go eat? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we go to where? Sizzlers. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to Sizzlers. We're talking. My mom's asking me like, what's going on? And I'm like, no, nothing. I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want her to know about the boy situation. I don't want her to give me some like, why are you doing that, this and that. I don't want to hear it. Like, I already know. I didn't want to hear it. And my mom has never liked anybody that I have ever liked. Ever. She gave Rodolfo such a hard time when me and him got together. Such a hard time. So I'm like, no. So I didn't want to hear any of it. And so I was like, nah, nothing. No, I don't want to talk about it. So it was just a pretty much chill day. We even went swimming. My mom was like trying to like kind of try to reconnect with me. And it was just like, like it was just hard, because I felt like she was trying to like get on a good spot with me so that we can move back in with the stepdad. And I'm like, no, like I don't want to live there at all. We went swimming, we had fun, and the wedding's gonna be coming up, right? This whole time I have not talked to Joe. I don't plan to talk to Joe. I don't want to talk to Joe. After seeing those pictures with him and that girl, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I'm really good. Like, I really am good. The way she was talking about Joe, you know, the things that he was telling her, and I'm like, yo, he's smooth, he's a talker, he's really good at that. And like, I'm just like I felt taken advantage of. I was like, oh my god, and you slapped my ass. It was a good day. The day went good. I didn't say anything. I didn't call him to talk him or nothing. But I did call Bubbles the night before, and I was like, hey Bubbles, sorry I didn't call you. I know you know this whole situation. I honestly don't really want to talk about it. I hope that's okay, and I don't want to overstep with anything. If you want me there, I can go, but if not, I totally understand. I really hope you know that I mean it, that I say that I would not have any hard feelings. I promise I would not have any hard feelings. Like I really meant that, y'all. Like I would not like be like, fucking bitch does not want me there. I totally get it. Like I swear, it's her day. I want it to shine on her. And before I could even finish like my whole like speech, she's like, Alexis, please, like I want you there. I want you there, and I hope you just, you know, whatever you and Joe have going on, if it's cannot be resolved, I hope that me and you can still, you know, have a relationship, and we can still go shopping. And like her voice and her tone just kind of like lightened the mood, you know. I was like, okay, like all happy. And I was like, okay, well I can definitely be there. Like, do you need me there sooner to help you with anything? Like they're like, you know, putting this and putting that. She's like, no, that they've hired a whole team and that she just wants me there. She's like, I'll make sure to tell Joe not to talk to you if that's what you want. I was like, yeah, please. I know that sounds rude. I know that sounds rude. Okay, but I did not want to talk to him. Y'all did not see this man and how he had her. Like, you did not see it. Like, it hurt more seeing him do that than like me seeing the ex with the hickeys. Like, it was a deeper feeling that I had for Joe than I did for the ex. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, it was weird, y'all. So anyways, so she asks me like, do you want me to tell Joe? And I'm like, yes please. Like, I don't know what he told you. She's like, I'm pretty sure he didn't tell me all, Alexis, but he is wrong. He's wrong, and I hope you know I didn't know that her, like, I guess they were keeping it a secret. I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to think like she knew or anything. I don't want to put her in a light of like she knew. I don't any of that. I seen her like a fairy godmother. Like, she was just like could do no wrong, you know. So I didn't want to hear or like put any images like that. All right, I was like, thank you so much, Bubbles, for even like wanting me to be there on your special day. It sounded corny, we're being hella corny with each other, but like for real, like when I love you, like I love you hard. I was like, I'm a full-on stranger, y'all. Gila already went home, and it's just me and it's my mom and it's her friend, and I cannot sleep. I am so much in my head where I'm like, oh my god, how is it gonna be tomorrow? My palms are sweaty. I'm like, how do I act? Like, what do I do? And I'm just literally just laying in my mom's friend's bed, and I'm like literally just like laying there, like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? It's so quiet, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what's gonna, like, I should never went. Like, I should never went. Like, I was just like blaming myself, because that's what a lot of people do when someone does them wrong. They try to like blame themselves. Like, it's not your fault, y'all. You know, like when I read a lot of things that like young Lex felt, I'm just like, oh baby, no. Like, I wish I could go back and be so much stronger for myself, because I did so much blaming on myself that like I even forgot at times like who the fuck I was, because I was trying to mold myself to what everyone else would be okay with and what they were happy with. I hated that. How are you gonna forget how to be yourself? How are you gonna forget your own personality, bitch? I don't know, it just happened. I'm like this, and then a message comes. I got a message for real, like this. And Joe has the nerve to text me, I miss you. And I was really like looking around the room, like to my imaginary friends, like, he fucking tripping, right? Like, he tripping, right? Yeah, girl, he tripping. And so like I'm playing the whole thing in my head. I got my own friends in my head, like, he really tripping. And then another message, I really do, Lex. Like, you really do. And so I messaged back like, go tell her that you really miss her with your cute little pictures. Go take another picture. Like, I was just saying like stupid ass shit, right? And he's like, let me explain, it's not like that. I'm like, I don't want you to explain. We're just friends, and that's all we're gonna be. Just friends. Just friends. Like, that's it. He wants to say like, well, did she tell you? I said, it doesn't matter. So I just closed my phone, and I don't know what it was, the willpower that I had, I knocked out finally. Knocked out. Next day I woke up and Bubbles is ringing my phone. Ring, 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 ring. And I answer, I'm like, hello. She's like, hey Mia, you think you can come to the house and you can get ready and you can help me with like the last minute things? I said, yep, for sure. It was just like that. Early, but crack early in the morning, like butt crack early. So I was like, damn. So I look around and I go and wake up my mom. I was like, hey mom, like I gotta leave, like they need me to babysit early, because I didn't want her to know like the wedding, just in case she wanted to start her stuff. And she knew, I know when she woke up, like it's wedding day, but I didn't want her to start, y'all. So I was like, gotta go. She's like, okay, like, you know, go, whatever. So I leave, and then I get there, and it is just so awkward. Okay, as soon as I walk in, I'm like, Joe's gonna be like, sup girl, blah blah blah. I'm your favorite, yeah, you know, I'm here because of me, blah 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 blah. Like I'm in my head, like he's gonna be doing all this, all that. There's people everywhere, moving, people, pool, park. It's the big day, y'all. It is so early, and I'm like, how are all y'all functioning? Like it's just like move. My eyes match up with Joe, and I'm thinking in my head like he's gonna be like, sup girl, biting his lip or whatever. And he looks distressed. His hair is all like crazy. He's wearing his glasses, and he just looks like he hasn't slept. Whatever, he's probably hungover. But anyways, and I'm there with a white shirt. It's a little bit too tight for me, but I'm wearing the white shirt, I'm wearing some shorts, and I'm wearing my Skechers and my backpack, and I'm just like, and I just walk off, and I go and find Bubbles, and he just like, a movie, y'all, like, oh, come back. Now pissed. So I go and I find Bubbles, and Bubbles has her hair up like in the, you know, like how they have the thingies, and she's just like, oh my gosh, like, okay, so I need you to do this. She had me do a couple things. I'm like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this. So we're doing a couple things, and then it's finally me and her and like a few of like her bridesmaids in the room, and we're kind of like, you know, talking and like doing last minute things, last minute whatever. And she's like asking me like if I'm okay. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine, like I'm good. She's like, are you sure? Like trying to like talk to me in front of all these people, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yep, fine. Like trying to like nip it. I don't want to talk about it, like, and that's that, you know. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, Mrs. Bubbles, like today's about you, like I'm fine. She's like, okay. And I'm like, and she's asking me like if I need to like change, shower, do any of that. She's like, I'm not saying you stink or anything, but if you need to shower, change, do anything, all this stuff is over there. And I was like, yeah, can I shower? Because even though I already had showered, like it wasn't like a full-on shower, and I'm like, okay, I want to see like your guys' restroom, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever see everyone's house and you're like, I want to see how things are, and like their stuff is fancy, so I want to take a cool shower. So I was like, yeah. And we still had time, like we had time, like the wedding was until like later, and like we were like there, and it was early. We had time, y'all, like we had time. I went to go take the shower, and it's like in another room, like no one's even in that room. Like I could have rented out a room and like no one would have known, like no one would have been bothered. I'm in that room, lock the door, and I put my backpack down. Someone knocks on the door, and one of the bridesmaids is like, here, Bubbles told me to give this to you, and it's my dress. So I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Grab it, close the door, lock it, hang it up, and then I am just like, oh my god, this is so pretty. Like this is so nice, oh my god. I get a phone call, and it's Skilly, and she was like, hey, because I had texted her like, going over, I'm gonna be over there, I'm so nervous, blah blah blah. So she calls me, she's like, hey, you good? I'm like, yes, I'm good. She's like, you know what, you could just blow up the wedding, dude, I mean, you can go do this. I'm like, I'm good, I just wanted to be able to text you, feeling a little bit this, blah blah blah. And she's like, all right, cool, like just like let me know how things are, and I'm here for you. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I hang up the phone, and I go and take a shower. Man, that shower, the head on that shower was crazy. That's crazy. So I'm just showering, and they have the shampoos in there. My hair smells good. I get out, I put a robe on. I feel chingona as put a robe on, and I'm like blow drying my hair. I'm like, damn, like I could live like this. I could live like this. Getting ready, and I just put back on the clothes that I had worn. They were clean, okay? I'm chilling because we had a long time to go. I knew Bubbles had her phone in her hand or nearby, because when me and her were talking, she would just go with everything, right? And so I tell her like, do you need anything? Question mark. She said no, you can just relax, take a nap if you want. And I was like, say less. I don't know if she wanted me there because she probably thought I wasn't gonna go, and so she just wanted me to at least be in the house, so she knew like Lex is there, you know what I'm saying? That's what I felt. It felt like one of those things, like she didn't really need me to do much, like what the little things that she had me do, I'm just like, but she wanted me to feel important. I feel like, you know how people don't even need to say it, you just feel it? Bubbles is a lot of that. I'm just napping. I literally nap because I just feel so like tired, like I'm napping. So I wake up and I hear someone opening the door, and I'm like I locked the door, but Who knows? I don't know. We have locks in some places where like you just put your freaking finger in and just go like that and it opens it, you know? I look over and it's Joe, and he is just like semi-ready, like his hair is slicked back and stuff, like it's like to the side, like slicked back like this to the side, and he's like, can we talk? Like that. Can we talk? Like that, you know? And I'm just like, I get up and I have the, I'm like covered in the blankets. Like I was like really taking a nap, y'all. Like the comforter on there was like, it felt like a sheep. I don't know how to explain it to you. It felt good. So I like put it over me like this, and I'm like, talk, you know, talk. I didn't know what to say. Like get out right now. Get the f out. That's what I wanted to say. So bad. Like, so talk. I didn't know that things were gonna get so serious between me and you so quickly, and so I stopped him. I was like, they wouldn't have if you wouldn't have, like, you were chasing me, I wasn't chasing you. Yeah, I know. I was talking to her, and like things needed to be on the low with her, so it didn't even feel real. And then when me and you were talking, like it was real. Like there was like, you know, we had that connection. I was like that was, he was talking, so he laughed. I'm like, I'm not laughing. Like that's how you look. You going like this. And so he like got quiet, and I'm like, but you had a full-on relationship. Like that's grimy, that's dirty, and I'm over here telling you about like the stupid shit that the ex is doing, and you're doing the same. Nah. Don't compare me to him. Like it's not the same. Like I was like, you know, we were talking, like we were just talking, like we're not the same. Like he was doing all this, and I was just like, and so I was getting mad, and he's like, why are you making that face for? Like you still like him? I was like, you don't have no room to tell me anything, and I can make any face I want. Like you're not my dad, and that really pisses me off that like you guys had a full-on relationship, taking photos, so you jealous. And I'm like, that's how I looked at him, and he felt so stupid. Like the nerve of you trying to still spit game and be like, so you jealous? The f what? And I was like, I just don't know how you could be kissing her and then you could be kissing me. I was like, and you weren't just kissing me like a little, like you were giving me like little butterfly kisses here and there, but like you try to put your tongue in my mouth a lot of the times. And I was like, and then you slapped my ass. Like I was mad about the ass slap, and I was pissed, like, 'cause that's a physical touch. Like you physically touched my ass. Like it's a touch, you know. And so he just like, yo, like I'm sorry, like I'm sorry. Like I didn't know how to break it off with her either and let her know, because I didn't know like me and you were gonna be like serious, and like it's just, I don't know, I was just so confused. And then you know, you like told me you weren't gonna talk to him no more. I'm like, yeah, and I didn't. Like what? You're not making your case. You're not. I'm like, I don't get it. So even if you thought that I wasn't going to leave the ex, you didn't have to kiss me, you didn't have to grab me, you didn't have to grab my phone and be like, don't talk to him no more, blah blah blah. You didn't have to do all of the extra. And don't take up for him either, saying that like friends. And don't take up for him either being like, oh well, he probably didn't think that you were gonna leave it. No. He didn't. Even if he thought all that, he didn't have to do what he did, period, at all. He didn't have to start with the compliments. He didn't have to like, oh, I came here, blah blah blah. He didn't have to grab and kiss me. None of that. He didn't have to flirt at all. And if he wanted to, it could have been like hee ha ha and like us to chance. There was no need for touching booties. There was no need for kissing. There was no need for any of that, period, at all. So I didn't like that. And he didn't have to hurt the girl. That's messed up. Like that's really messed up. Like I don't understand that. Like you are over here telling her pretty much the same thing that you're telling me. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just got caught up. Like I've never like got this kind of attention before. That man would walk in a room and girls would be like this. So I don't want to hear it. Knew he was cute, and that's it. And I was like, can you just like be honest with me? As I said, can you just be honest with me? That's what I kept saying. Hold on, I need to take a drink. My throat is dry. Because he kept trying to give me a lot of this. I was like, can you just be honest with me? Please just be honest with me. Like for real. Like if you for real like liked me. He's like, liked? I still like you. Like I really like you. And I was like, if you like liked me, okay, and if you like had feelings for me. What do you mean had? Like I have it. If you had any of that or have any of that, he's like, there's no quotations. Like it is. Like I like you. Like I really like you. Just be honest with me. Just be honest with me. Because when me and that girl were talking on MySpace, she had told me that one of the dates that me and him like had our like moment, and like remember when Bubble served us and he was like, you know, we're talking about like, oh, you could be my wife, you could be my husband type bull, whatever. He snuck off and went with her And she said, I gave something to him very important to me. Which I'm not thinking like you gave him a letter. I'm not thinking, oh, you gave him this, you gave him that. She gave him her V card. That's what I'm thinking, right? Okay, so we're gonna put back to this, okay? Because me and that girl, we had a lot of convo when we were sharing things back and forth. That night that me and you chilling together, did you go off with her? And did you have with her? He goes, I'm a man and we have, that's it. Can you leave now? Lex, like, let me just talk, please. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, you know, like, to girls and stuff, like, that stuff is like important for guys. Like, we just I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm like, nah, I don't want you to explain nothing to me. That's okay. I was really feeling you and not no more. And then before you say anything, I know you're gonna think like, oh yeah, the ex, he's a dog, this and that. Yeah, he is what it is. But you fooled me to thinking that you weren't one of the same, and you guys are pretty much the same. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, I think we're just better as friends, and I'm taking out the necklace, and that's it. That's it. Like, I think we're just better off as friends, and like, not no kissing friends, not no hugging friends, none of that. Like, I'm good. And then you want to sit here and be like, nah, like, I'm gonna make you give me another chance. Like, I really am. Like, no. I was like, nope, I don't want another chance, because I'm just gonna always be thinking about the cute stuff you're saying to me, you're saying to her, and who knew who else you were saying it to. And he's like, yeah, but like, I was single. Yeah, you were single, and it should have been that. You shouldn't have been messing with me and like messing with my head. Like, it's good. Like, it's good. And like, I don't even know if you even like me. I think you just pity me, Joe. Like, I honestly think that's just what it is. You just pity me, and you probably just think that like I'm just something fun to look at, and like, that's cool, but leave me alone. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Blah blah blah. You gotta keep going back and forth. I'm like, I don't want to go back and forth, Joe. Like, I really don't. As he's walking out, and I was like, one more thing. He turns back around. He's all, what? Like, he's all sad. Did you break things off with her? Well, like, why would I break things off with her? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't want to make you mad. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean break things off with her? I was like, yeah, like, when I saw you guys kissing and do whatever you were doing in the bathroom, and you came after me and stuff, like, why'd you come after me if you weren't gonna break things off with her? Yo, man, like, I don't even know. Like, I like you guys both. Okay, bye. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. If a man has to choose between you and somebody else, let him choose her, because you are not an option at all. It's not no multiple choice. He should just, you are the only answer, okay? And if you're not his only answer and he has A, B, and C, check out the mother way. Go. Like, no, okay? Learn from me. Don't do it. I'm the guinea pig. So y'all shouldn't have any excuses of like, is it hot? I'm gonna touch it. Don't touch it. I'm telling you, you're not an option. It's either you or that's it. You're the only bubble. That's it. It should be no other option. That's it. Period. Alright? I just get up at this point because I'm like, I'm not gonna even try to fake sleep. Like, I cannot fake sleep right now. So I get a message from Peach, and she asking me if I'm busy, if I'm already at the wedding, or if I can come over and help. I'm like, sorry, I'm already here. I'm already helping Bubbles. What did you need help with? And she was just telling me that she needed help with some things around the house and the kids, and they weren't letting her get ready and blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, sorry about that. And she was actually nice about it. She was like, it's okay, like, it's fine. Like, who the is this, you know, like, who are you? Like, it was so weird. So I was like, okay. I get ready, and it's already getting closer to the time. Go out there. I'm talking to Bubbles. Me and Bubbles are talking, and she's like asking, is everything okay? Have you talked to Joe yet? And she was like, I'm sorry, baby, like, you guys are young, like, it's not the time. And I'm like, I know. Like, I didn't want to talk about it, damn it. Like, I was just like, okay, like, I know, like, I know. We're just talking, okay. She's telling us like where we need to go. The wedding planner tells us like, hey, go over there, do this, do that. I'm not like a bridesmaid or anything, so like, I could just chill, you know? Like, I don't gotta go there. I just gotta chill. The wedding was beautiful. Beautiful. Peaches show up, her other friends show up. Everybody is just showing up, and it's just like so beautiful, so nice. Everything is beautiful. Mojo shows up. He looks at me, and this little bitch boy wants to have like a little attitude with me, like if it's my fault. And so we're just looking at each other. I'm just like, I try really hard to dog him when like no one else would really see me, but I did get caught a few times here and there, and I did try to fix my face, you know, or I try to make it like, like that, you know. So I was like, okay, whatever. Everything is beautiful, everything is done. They say their vows, it is beautiful. I see why people cry, because it's just so pretty. The whole time I kept thinking, like, me and my husband, when we ever get married, I don't know if I'm gonna have all this, like all these people here. That is so beautiful. And I'm like, like, and they remembered their vows. They didn't have to have a paper, and I'm like, I'm gonna need a paper. And so I'm just like watching them. Everyone's like crying. They're like making promises to each other. I didn't even know that was a thing where you make promises. So like people will promise things like, well, of course, like not cheating and stuff, but like I promise not ever get a motorcycle type. I promise not to get a tattoo. Like I didn't know people could make promises like that. And so I was like, what? So they were making like their intimate promises to each other for us to hear. And I was like, oh my god, like that's so beautiful. A few times I saw like Joe looking at me, and this was me, okay? I was like, but I was so into like the moment. I don't know, I felt like a little weirdo like by myself, but I was cool. I was chilling. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna fuck, like I'm cool. I was like, oh, who are you, like whose daughter are you? And I'm like, I'm Mrs. Bubbles' friend. And like it was just like weird, and like to the point I even said like I'm the babysitter. It was just so weird, because it's just like I didn't want to be like I'm Joe's friend, because then they'd be like, oh, that's Joe's girl. I didn't want to do all that. So I was like, I'm Bubbles' friend. Oh, I'm a family friend. Hi, hello. They had the dance, we were eating, you can snack, people were drinking, and they weren't really like, you can't grab it. Like I seen the teens out with like the champagne and stuff. I was like, okay, whatever. So I grabbed one too. I was like, I'm fun. I started drinking it. It was fun. I had a good time. I didn't really talk to Bubbles a lot because she was busy, but that's okay. Of course she'd be busy. I did talk to the Peaches. They came. Hi, Alexis. How's everything? Super nice. Which I don't know what happened. Hi, everything's good. Oh yeah, you look nice. Yeah, that's the dress. Wow, it was made for you. Okay, that's the vibe that she was giving me. I was like, thanks. And so me and her started talking. Sam was like, hey, can I talk to you? And I was like, sure. So me and Sam going to talk, and she's like, yo, all the drama, did you hear it? I was like, kind of, sort of, like what happened? Mr. Peach went in on Mrs. Peach. Like they were fighting. He was pissed. He was telling her fix it, like mad because like there's some investments with this and that. And so like they were like angry, and like she didn't know that like this, and she didn't know that she treated you like this. She didn't know that Baltimore did this, and they didn't know that you did this, and they didn't know that. So like everything, I guess, kind of, not everything came out, but it was just like not a good look, and I guess it just like made them look bad. And so Mrs. Peach got like red to filth by Mr. Peach, and he was like, fix it. They fixed up like the other little room that they had, and like, oh yeah, when it gets too late, like maybe she can stay here, and like, yeah, I just never seen it like that. And like, I'm not gonna stay there. No, she was just saying like it was a lot of drama, and like even Baltimore got chewed out, and he was yelling at both of them, and that this wasn't okay and that wasn't okay, and who makes a child feel like that, this and that. And I was like, okay, Mr. Peach all of a sudden cared. She's like, right. And so we and her were just like kind of talking, or kind of like, I think she felt like, I feel like she low-key missed me. So when we were talking, we're like, stupid. She saw Joe looking at me, and she's like, why do he keep looking at you? She's like, you guys did something, huh? I was like, no, I told you I don't like him like that. Remember I had told her I don't like him like that, he would like so and so. It worked out. She's like, okay, so you won't mind. I was like, dude, I don't care. And she's like, just kidding. So are you and the ex, how are you guys doing? And I was like, oh, we're not together either. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, like, I'm a new person, I'm a new woman. Like just joking around with her, we're just having fun. And she's like, well, let's go dance. I'm like, okay. Like it was just, it was a cool, Sam can be cool at times, okay? She's a little bitch at the same time. So we were just going, we're just having fun, we're dancing. We weren't dancing nasty, we were just like dancing cute, you know. And we're dancing, and my hands are like this, and then I felt like someone grabbed me and like tried to spin me, and it was Joe. And so he's dancing in front of me, and he was like, can we just be friends again? Can we just start all over again? Like, hi, my name's Joe. I was like, I'm not gonna do what that. Hi, my name's Alexis, what's your name? You know. And I was like, I'm not trying to do no move. Joe, I'm cool with being friends. Hi, how are you? And I just stopped it like that. I was like, hi, how are you? He's like, I'm good, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. And he's like, I'm really messed up, huh? I was like, yeah. I was like, you're good though. You're still talking to her, so you're good. He's like, yeah, but I want you. And I was like, can't have me, sorry, not for sale. And he's like, all right. And grabs both my hands and goes like this. And tries to be like, and kiss me on my cheek and like walk away. Like, all right, take care of yourself. Kiss me on my cheek and walks away. I'm like, I know y'all, I'm a bitch. I know, okay? I know. No. No. Okay. No. So we're still having fun. Me and Sam are like, okay, haha. She's like, what's that about? I was like, dude, I don't know, he's drunk. So we're having fun. I'm not trying to give her no nothing, no nada, like nothing, not even a sliver of cheese man, because I know her. So I'm like, nothing, I don't know, he's drunk. And so I'm like, I think he just likes how it's happening with mom. Oh yeah, cool, yeah, it's nothing deep, don't read too much into it. Don't you got something better to do? We're just like having fun. Everyone's having a good time. I check in with Bubbles here and there, hug her, congratulate her, and just she's asking me if everything's okay. I'm like, yep, everything's fine. So it's like, okay. She's getting kind of tipsy. She starts with I love yous, and I'm like hugging her. I go inside, and then some of the party stays outside. It's so beautiful. They made it so beautiful. I go inside, and I'm just chilling, and I'm just talking to Sam. Me and Sam are talking. She's talking about Mojo, like over here trying to talk to me, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Make my way to the kitchen, and I just see like a bunch of pretty girls, like, you know, just talking and then going, ha, you're so funny, like being really funny, like whatever, like being cute. And in the corner of my eye, I see that it's Joe. He's sitting down, and he has one of the girls like in between like his legs kind of area, and he's just like talking, and I just looking her up, and I'm like, damn, like you really thought. And I have my drink, you know, and I just like look at him, and I'm like cheers, remember cheers? So cheers, and he just looks at me, he's like that, like mad at me, like, boy, why you mad at me? The fuck? The night ends well, it really does. He tries to keep talking to me here and there. He even texts me like, you look really nice, I really like how you did this, how this and that, like you look really sexy when you do this, like why you tell me I look sexy, why you tell me like you, that's weird. Don't tell your friends that, like what the hell. And so when he was sending the compliments of like thanks, like it was just like he was trying too hard where it was coming off cringe, and it was just like I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. It's too much for me. No, it's the energy for me. Like it was just like no, don't. Things die down. Bubbles and her husband, they take off, they go on their little honeymoon thingy. Bye. They're leaving. It's late at night, so the parents of Bubbles, or Mr. Bubbles, I'm not sure whose parents it was, but it was like the grandparents that were still there. They start cleaning up, we start cleaning up, and Bubbles calls me. I'm like, hello, and she's like, hey Alexis, the room that you had stayed in, you're more than welcome to stay. If you want to help out, clean up everything, I would really appreciate it. You don't have to, but I would really appreciate it. You're someone I trust, because you know there's a lot of stuff in the house that I just don't want anyone touching. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like thanks. I don't know if I'm gonna spend the night, but I'll definitely let you know if I do, if it gets too late, but most likely I'm gonna go home with my mom. Okay, great, just let me know, mija. And I was like, oh my god, that's so nice. And the whole time I kept thinking like, damn shirts. But I knew if I would have stayed the night, things would have happened between me and Joe, because like I had some champagne, it wouldn't have ended well, y'all, and it would be like for no reason, and don't tolerate it, right? Okay, so I helped the grandparents. We're like cleaning up, and it just felt weird. Like, did a wedding just happen? Like, did a wedding just happen where it's just like it's already done, you know, like all the anticipation, all the everything, and then it's just done. Like when you see it in movies, you never think like, who cleans up after? What happens after? You know what I'm saying? Like when I got married with my babe, and we like had the little wedding like at the court and stuff, and like, yay, like, we went out to eat, and we went home, like we're married now. I don't know, it's just like crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like super crazy. We're like, so what happens now? I help clean up. My mom's asking me like, what time do I pick you up? What are you gonna be doing? And I tell her like, I'll text you when I'm done, I'm finishing up. And she's like, how come you didn't remind me it was a wedding? You know what you do. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to argue, like it's not something I want to do, like what the fuck. And so I'm like, okay, like I just didn't want to start, I didn't want to have to argue with you. So I'm like fighting with her, I'm texting, and then I hear Joe, like, I thought you said you weren't gonna talk to him. And I'm like this, okay, I'm like like that. Okay, so I look at him and I'm like, what? I'm like, it's my mom, Joe. 60%. It really is my mom right now too. It's my mom, Joe. And then he's like, oh yeah, like my bad, like I don't even have, like, it's not even my business, but like, yeah, like, you know, like old habits. I'm like, go make it old habits. I'm like, God, dude, you swear. And so like I'm like getting all mad, like, what you mean, like old habits, like the fuck you started, like. So I'm like, you know, texting her, and he's like, why is she tripping? And I'm like, because it's getting late. Bet that's not even your mom. You probably have the X under your mom's name, huh? Do you want to call? I was like, I told you I'm already done, like I'm good, I'm done. He's like, all right then, like let me see your phone, like trying to be so cute and like funny, like all right, let me see it. Like I was like, if I show you mine, let me see yours. He's like, we talk about phones or something. I was like, he's like, Like, give me my phone, you're probably gonna find something you don't like I'm gonna be honest. Like that. And I was like, then why are you worried about what's on my phone? And he's like, gosh, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Like that. It was so weird and like hard. It's hard to be nice to a nice personality guy when they have like fuckboy traits. It's really hard. But you could do it. You could do it. So we were like literally just like going like back and forth. The Peaches already left. Everybody else, so it's just like us and like grandparents and like cousins and like some few, okay, but like they could hear and they could be around, right? He was just like, he kept going with it, and I'm like, and then as we're talking I get a private phone call, and I'm like, oh my god, because I already know it's the ex. That was his famous thing to do, like to call me private because he knew I was gonna pick up, or just to hear my voice like on some creepy shit, like hello. They'd be like, you need a breath mint, bro, hang up, you know. But the phone started and right away I just click it. He's like, oh, is that him? Probably. It probably is. So y'all still do talk? Nope. Just because he's calling me private does not mean we still talk. Nope. Alright, because you like, you know, you deserve better and stuff. Yep, I do. I do deserve better. I was like, and I want to be happy, so yeah, I don't think I should talk to him. Kind of like going back and forth. Private calls again. Ring, ring. And he's like, let me answer it. I was like, alright, cool. And I passed him the phone. Hello? I was like, what they say? They ain't say nothing. Hello? Yo, it's a boyfriend. Hello? No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Hello? Why you guys say that? Like, he don't gotta know that I'm not your boyfriend, but like you can like say that. No, because you're not, and I don't want to give you that title, so like, no, you're not. And so we start fighting about something stupid. Boom! I get a call and it's the ex, and he don't even block his number. I answer it like right away, because like I would have let him answer it, but I was like, hello? He's like, who the f is that your phone? I said, boy, bye. I hang up. I don't know, I was just tired. I was just tired of it, and so I just hang up. Boy, bye. Boom, phone blowing up, phone blowing up, phone blowing up. I hung up. Yeah, because I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, because we're done. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. I can have boyfriends. Yeah, don't worry about it. Your mom too. Yeah. Okay, bye. Don't call me. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not gonna call you. No, I don't care. Yeah, I will cry. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, yeah, because I cared. Yeah, yeah. Okay, bye. I hung up, and he was just like looking at me like, I was like, what? Like, I told you it was him, that's why you answered it private. Like, I don't know why you didn't want to talk to him. Like, what? Just like laughing. He was like, dang, you crazy. And I was like, no, I'm not. Y'all crazy. Y'all make us crazy. And he's all, y'all. I'm like, yeah, y'all make us crazy. I'm going upstairs to that room so I can get my backpack, because like I already did what I think I could have done, and I'm good. Like, I don't want to stay the night because I already know eventually I'll probably like let him back into my bubble, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There's no need for it. I don't want it. As I'm walking upstairs, I get a message, and it's Sam, and she's like, yo, what happened at the party? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she says, Peach is pissed. And I'm like, I don't care. And I say, I don't care, because I don't give a f. So I'm like, I don't care, Sam. Like, I don't care. I was like, I don't know what happened. I didn't hear anything. I don't care. And then she's like, well, you better care, because like this is your job. And I'm like, then fire me. I don't care. Fire me. And she's like, wow, what's going on? Like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, I'm just like, I don't care at all. So I go upstairs and I'm putting stuff in my bag. I'm going to change, take off my dress, put it away. I put it in the black bag that it came into. I left it because I'm like, I'm gonna come back for it. Like, I don't want to take it anywhere. Like, I'm pretty sure like it'll be fine. So I put it in the closet. I leave it. I grab the backpack, put everything, and I'm good. Like, I'm ready to go. And I have my backpack on. And as I'm leaving to walk out the door, Joe walks through. And he's like, can I talk to you? And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you, dude. He's like, please let me talk to you. And he's like pushing me close to the bed, and then I finally like just fall on the bed like this, because I'm like holding my back strong so I don't lay back. There's no reason for me to lay back. Holding strong, and then he just goes on top and like pushes my shoulders to the bed and tries to attempt to kiss me. And I'm like, stop, like for real, like no, stop. Like I said, no, I don't, like what are you doing? And he's like, all right, okay, like gets off. And he's like, I just thought like we could talk. I'm like, that's talking? Like, you're trying to like start something, like that's nothing, like that's not talking, like no. So I sit down right and I'm facing towards him. I'm like, so talk, like this doesn't need to be more than what it is. Like, we're just friends, that's it. Got a little bit of complicated, but we can get back from it. Like, I'm cool with just having you as my friend. And he's like, but I don't want to be friends. And I'm like, but I do, and you're still talking to her, so I'm good. And he's like, it's because I just like you both. If you tell me that like you want to have a relationship, then it's just gonna be you. It's just gonna be you. And I was like, no, like you guys had stuff. And he's like, it's just like, it's not that deep. it is deep for me. Like, it's deep, okay? Like, my number is not high, and that's not me bragging or nothing, but it's because I don't know if it's because like things that happened to me at a young age. I don't share that part of me, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot for me to share that part, or what it is. It is that deep for me, you know? So I was like trying to explain to him, like, I want to be your friend, like I want us to be good, and I want us to like be like how it was and stuff. I was like, you want to be friends with benefits, and like I was cool with that, knowing that I was the only friend with benefits, but like it's too complicated, you know, it's too much. And he was just like talking to me, and I could feel his phone like vibrating, like, you know, the whole bed vibrates, pulls it out, and I see that like it's like the name and then like hearts, you know, it ain't me. And so I'm like, you see, I was like, it's fine, it's fine. And he just like looks at me, and he's like, I don't want it to be fine, I don't want it to be cool, like I want us to be like where we were. And he like tries to pull me like close, like he grabs me like pretty like close, like he grabs my thighs, and like he's strong, pulls me close to him, and he like tries again. He has his hands like on my thighs, and he's just like grabbing me and like pulls me close, and like tries to like kiss like up on this area. And I was like, nah, like I can't, like I really can't, like I don't want to be stupid, like no, like I've already been stupid like with the ex and stuff, and like that's a drama in its own. Like I don't want to be stupid over two guys, like I'm sorry, and like I'm still healing from that. So like I'm not even ready for a relationship either, if I want to be honest. Like I'm not ready for a relationship. He was like, okay. So I get up, I dust myself off, and as I'm dusting myself off, he grabs me from behind and puts me on his lap, and then he like just hugs me tight, and I just sit there, I let him hug me tight, and then he like tries to put me again back on the bed, and I was like, I said stop, Joe, like I don't want to at all. So you see, imagine if I would spend the night, it would have been worse. And it's his phone again, and I'm like, you should get that, like you should get that. Gets up, and he don't even say nothing, and he goes out, and then you can hear him say hello. Yeah, I can, like that. And so I'm like, okay, he's good, like he's good, he ain't tripping, he's good. I text Bubbles, she didn't reply because she's busy, she's doing her own stuff. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to spend the night. I don't think it's smart for me to spend the night due to the situation between me and Joe. I don't want to overcomplicate things. And I explained to her, like, I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's gonna give mixed signals. I don't want to give mixed signals. The grandparents are still here. I'm sure they'll still watch everything. My dress is in the closet. Thank you so much for everything, and hopefully I can see you during the week. And she didn't say anything. I went downstairs, talked to the grandparents, like, hi, so awkward. Hi, I'm gonna go now. I was told I could spend the night, but I'm not going to. And they're just like, okay, like just like really weird, like what the fuck, you know? Okay, bye. And so I had texted my mom, and was already on her way to come get me. She got me, and she's like, everything good? I was like, yeah, everything's good, like everything's fine. So then we go home with her friend still, and it's getting to like the conversation of like, you're gonna have to move back with me. And I'm like, oh my god, here we go, like I don't want to move back with you, like holy shit. So as my mom's talking, I'm really like tuning her out, and me and Sam were talking, and I guess there was some freaking drama that I had no clue about that was going on with the Peach and Bubbles' friends. I guess they were like, you're dirty, like why did you do all that about me? But they didn't know I was there at the party. They just were like, yeah, she treats her help like crap. And so it was just like a thing that they were like chismeando amongst themselves. No one knew I was there. Sam was like, yeah, it was drama, and like that's why we left early. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. Like it was just drama, and that Peach needs to talk to me, and that I'm gonna have to sit down with them, and they don't even know if they want to keep me anymore. I was like, dude, if that's even a thing, like I'm not gonna go in. Like I'm not gonna go in just to get fired. Like what the, I got nothing over there, like I got nothing, like that's just weird, like I'm not gonna get fired. And she's like, yeah, Baltimore was pissed saying that she was gonna do this. I was like, she ain't gonna do shit. Like what's she gonna do? Like what is she gonna do? Pretty much like she gonna beat my ass, but in Spanish it sounds like horrible, right? This is how this came out, then the other things can come out, and we don't need no one knowing that. So it was just a whole, I didn't even know any of that happened, and that it was that deep. I was just in my own zone, going through a breakup. Skillet eventually pops up, and me and her are talking. I'm like telling her, she's like, dude, just quit the job, like what the hell? I'm like, I know, but like the kids, and like she said she was sorry, like, and we could be, maybe we could be on a good path. And she's like, dude, like what the like you have like abandonment issues or something, like that's crazy. And so like we were like just talking, and then we were all watching some freaking crime show. She was just like, so what happened? I was telling her about the boy. She was like, dang, that's crazy. And then she's like, why don't you just have him? I'm like, because I just don't give that to anybody and everybody. The she was like, yeah, but you would have got something out of it. You would have been like happy. You would have left happy. And I'm like, you're so stupid. I would have left hurt, even more hurt, because then I would have got attached. And she's like, you gotta learn not to get attached. And I was like, oh my god. So we were just talking about it. It was funny. It was just it was way like, it ended bad because of Joe, but it ended good because like I had a good time, you know. It was fun, all that. Sam was just filling me in about what was going to go on, what was happening, and the drama, and how she felt pissed off because Bubble se cree, and I was like, oh my god, dude. So now they felt like they are thinking that like I thought I was hot shit because I knew Bubbles, and I'm like, and I was like in the mix and stuff now, so I was like, what the heck. But I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. If you guys enjoy my story times, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you guys are notified. And I'll see you guys in my next story time. This was a super long story time, so I hope you guys enjoyed. My freaking voice is gone, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. Besos a todos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.